From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Batter up, Johnny.
Who's that?
McGraw.
Oh, as if I didn't know. What's on your mind, Bert?
Dollar Mason. Ever hear of her? Her uncle Sylvester Mason.
Mason Steel and Iron?
That's the man. Dollar's his favorite niece. About 6 weeks ago, she disappeared.
So?
So, yesterday, a body washed up on Newport Beach not too far from her parents' home.
Darlis?
According to her father,
And you hold a policy on her.
for $25,000, double indemnity.
Ouch. So, why don't you pay it off?
We would have today, except for one thing.
Well, what's that?
Right after Mason identified the body, a man named Dixon showed up and swore it was the body of his daughter.
What?
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Providential Assurance Company, 393 Dewey Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Mason-Dixon mismatch matter. Expense account item 1, $1.20, taxi from my apartment to the Providential Building. The walls of Bert McGraw's office are covered with pictures of sporting events, and as I entered, Bert was preparing to hang another one.
Oh, Johnny. Well, come in, come in. You ever see this?
Who is it?
Who? Well, it's me, that's who. The day I pitched for the Valdosta Lions. Struck out 10 of the cherry pointers that afternoon. Yes, sir.
You win the game for him?
Huh?
I said, did you win the game for him?
Oh. No. Cheating umpire. There. Well, Johnny boy, you ready to join our little team?
I don't know. The body of a girl being found on a beach, Mason identifying it as his daughter, then somebody else showing up.
Henry Dixon.
Yeah, and saying the same thing. Can't the authorities identify her?
Haven't been able to yet?
Neither one of those girls had their fingerprints on record?
Nope.
Well, what about dental work?
Nothing to go on there either.
Oh, brother.
It's not going to be an easy one, Johnny.
How long had the body been in the ocean before it was washed up?
Well, they figure about 6 weeks. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, yes, sir. I see. Uh-huh. Well, if it isn't the Mason girl... Yes, sir. Yes, sir, that's right. Thanks for calling, Captain. That was Captain Miller of the Newport Police.
They find out who she is?
No. So if it is the Mason girl, we're going to have to pay out $50,000 on the double indemnity clause.
You aren't surprised, are you?
No, I didn't think she died from a natural cause. But I didn't think it'd be from a gunshot wound either.
What kind of a gunshot wound?
A 38, right through here.
How old did you say the Mason girl was, Bert?
Oh, around 20. Dixon girl, too. Both of them pretty, full of life. At least they were.
When did the Mason girl disappear?
Oh, about 6 weeks ago.
And the Dixon girl?
Well, she's been missing about 3 months.
Well, one of them's still alive. I'll try to find her. Bert gave me all the information he had on both the Mason and the Dixon families. I took a cab back to my apartment. That's expense account item 2. Item 3, $18.10, transportation, Hartford to Newport, Rhode Island. After checking in at the Ogden Hotel, I called Dollar Mason's father, rented a car, and drove out to the Mason home on the beach. I was about to ring the bell when the front door opened.
Hi.
Well, hi.
You must be Johnny Dollar.
That's right.
Come on in. I'm Joan Mason.
Darla's little sister.
Uh-huh. This way, Mr. Dollar. Mother's waiting for you in the den.
Your mother? I thought my appointment was with you.
Oh, my father's indisposed. Besides, Mother's the brains of this family. Of course, if you really want to know about Darla, you ask me.
Maybe I will.
You better. Mr. Dollar's here, Mother.
Thank you, my dear. Come in, please, Mr. Dollar.
See you later, Johnny.
dreadful mistake my husband made has upset him so. I thought it best to see you myself.
Just what mistake are you referring to, Mrs. Mason?
Well, we've released a statement to the newspapers. I thought you had heard.
No, ma'am, I haven't.
You've made a trip over here for nothing, then.
Oh?
Yes, you see, my husband erred when he identified that body as being our daughter's. It couldn't possibly have been.
Well, I know you're glad of that, Mrs. Mason. But what made Mr. Mason change his mind?
I haven't changed it, Dollar.
George, I thought you were going to stay in your room.
Never mind. Dollar, any questions you want to ask, I'll try to answer them.
Why, George Mason, you've been drinking.
Only enough to take the bad taste out of my mouth, and you know what put it there.
Why,
Don't look so mixed up, Jenny. I tried going along with you, but I got too weak a stomach. So here I am.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No. Listen, Dollar. Soon as they found out that girl had been murdered, my wife here decided it couldn't have been Darla.
It isn't Darla, and you know it.
Only thing I know is that you got a set idea good, proper people don't die nowhere else but in bed. Because this girl died like she did, because she was shot, you tried convincing me she ain't our daughter. Well, I won't hold still for it. That girl's Darla, no matter what that crazy
you'll
coot Dixon
excuse
says.
me,
Or what
Mr.
you
Dollar?
say.
Yes, surely.
You hear? You hear me, Jenny? Oh, doggone woman. I get so mad at her. Oh, you want a drink, Dollar?
No, thanks. A little early for me.
Yeah, I guess I've had enough, too. Well, Dollar, no matter what way our girl died, she was a good girl. Never gave me a bit of trouble. Never lied, never ran around like some her age do. Oh, she was a real good girl.
Mr. Mason, the police haven't been able to make a positive identification.
I know that.
Well, would you mind telling me why you're so certain that girl is your daughter?
Oh, of course not. First thing, Darla had no reason to run off. She had everything I could give her. Charge accounts all over the place. Everything money could buy. So she had no reason to leave here like she did.
Where was she last seen?
At the Newport Yacht Club, at the bar. Younger daughter Joan saw Darla talking with a stranger. When she walked out of the club, it was the last anybody ever saw of her.
Well, Mr. Mason, do you have a picture of your daughter that I could borrow for a few days?
Yeah, I might be able to find you one. What do you want with it?
I'm going to try to find her.
You what? Dollar, you...
Or find the Dixon girl.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Well, you might locate Ruth Dixon somewhere.
Do you know the Dixons, Mr. Mason?
No, I never heard of them before this happened.
What about Ruth Dixon? Could Darla have known her?
Oh, of course not.
Are you sure? I mean, isn't it possible that in a small community like this one...
No, it's not possible. Dollar, we're the Masons. Now, maybe that don't mean much to you or to me, but it means an awful lot to my wife. And for the time poor Darla was born, my wife drilled it into her. You understand?
No, I'm not sure that I do.
Well, Darla never mixed with people she thought were beneath her, any more than my wife ever has.
I see.
You don't believe it, you just ask around.
I plan to, Mr. Mason. Mason found a small snapshot of his daughter. I took it and drove back to town. Expense account item 4, 10 cents, one phone call to Henry Dixon. 20 minutes later, I walked through the knee-high weeds that surrounded the Dixon home. Standing on the front porch waiting for me was a tall, thin man.
Afternoon. Mr. Dollar?
Yes, that's right.
Well, I'm glad to know you. Sit down. It's such a nice day, I thought we could talk out here on the porch.
Fine with me.
Dollar.
Yeah?
Look, this whole thing hasn't been easy on my wife. Now, I've spent all day convincing her that I was mistaken, that the girl found on the beach isn't our daughter.
You really believe that?
Oh, I do, and so does my wife. And for the first time in days, she's almost her old self again.
Henry?
Oh, on the porch, Lucille. Mr. Dollar's here.
Oh, my. It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Oh, Lucille, this is Mr. Dollar.
Oh, pleased to meet you, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Dixon.
Well, sit down, Mr. Dollar. Just anywhere.
Oh, Henry built these chairs himself. I wanted to put them in the house, but Ruth, she just wouldn't have it.
Yes, Mr. Dollar. I'm not at all sure why you want to see us. Ruth wasn't insured. We never could afford to take out a policy on her.
Well, we did once for her college fund. You remember, Henry?
Yes, but when I was forced to slow down, we had to cash it in. All except about $1,000, that is.
Back in St. Louis, my husband was a school teacher, Mr. Dollar. A fine one. But the doctors made him give it up because of his heart.
Oh, I see. How long have you folks lived in Newport?
5 years and 4 months.
Mrs. Dixon, I imagine you remember just about everything that happened the day Ruth disappeared, don't you?
Oh, my, yes.
Well, did your daughter seem to be upset or emotionally disturbed in any way?
No more than usual.
Well, Ruth was spoiled, Mr. Dollar. Before Henry had to leave his job, we had the money to buy her nice things. Then, when we didn't have it, well, Ruth just never could get used to seeing her friends in their pretty new dresses.
That's one of the reasons we moved to Newport, to get away from that crowd.
Yes, we hoped she would find some friends on her own,
Financial level.
yes, some friends like that. But she wouldn't change.
Did she know the Mason girl? Or ever talk about her?
No, I can't recall that she did.
Now, wait a minute, Henry. She did once.
Oh, when was that?
Oh, about the middle of March. They were having a dance where Ruth worked. When she got home that night, she told me the Mason girl had been there and how nice her hair had looked.
The Mason girl wasn't nearly as pretty.
Oh, no. Have you ever seen a picture of Ruth, Mr. Dollar?
Well, only the one in the newspapers.
Oh, that doesn't look a thing like Ruth. Excuse me.
Surely. Mr. Dixon, was Ruth happy with her job?
Well, considering how little they pay girls for doing hostess work, she was.
Now, here's a real nice picture of her, Mr. Dollar. You just look at this. Isn't that something?
Sure. Mrs. Dixon, where was this taken?
Why, where she worked. At the Newport Yacht Club.
I borrowed the picture after promising to be careful with it. Then I went back to my hotel. At the desk, I stopped for my key and messages and found one from Captain Miller of the Newport Police. He wanted to see me in his office as soon as possible. It took me about 5 minutes to get there.
Dollar,
Yeah, that's right.
in here. I'm Miller, homicide detail. I'm glad you could...
Mr. Dollar, what wonderful good news.
Jenny, leave the man alone.
Well, I didn't expect to find you people here, Mrs. Mason.
No, I'm sure you didn't. And Mr. Mason didn't expect to be here either. Oh, you just wouldn't hold the thought, would you, George? You just wouldn't have faith.
Oh,
You
Jenny.
had our girl dead and buried in her grave.
For heaven's sake, never see anything so disgusting, Dollar.
But she's not. No, sir. Oh, I'm so thankful, so very,
Mrs. Mason, you mean you found her?
They haven't found her yet, Dollar. As a matter
We
of fact...
found proof that she's alive.
What kind of proof?
A slip.
A what?
A little sail. Oh, Mr. Dollar, I'm so excited.
Calm down, Jenny, for heaven's sake.
I'll
What did
calm
you
down
find,
when I'm
Captain?
ready to.
I didn't
Mason,
find
not
it.
one
Mrs. Mason
second
did.
more.
Well, what is it? What is it?
A bill from Kennedy's. That's a department store over in Providence.
Oh, why don't you shut up, woman?
Oh,
Captain, what's a bill got to do with Darla Mason being alive?
Just this. All the Masons have a charge account at Kennedy's.
yes.
So today a bill came to the Mason house addressed to Miss Darla Mason.
You hear? You
Yeah?
hear?
Mrs. Mason opened it.
Yes.
Darla charged a fur wrap in Kennedy's.
Oh. When?
Just last week.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
We often hear about people shooting the bull or throwing the bull. We often do it ourselves on occasion. But here's a story about a bull that threw the man instead of the other way around. When Air Force veterinarian Captain Tony Kamalacher was stationed in the Azores, he was asked by a Portuguese veterinarian to diagnose the wound of a young and promising bull that had been gored by another bull. It came from a long line of famous corrida bulls and was considered very valuable. But Captain Kamalacher's diagnosis was not favorable. An operation was needed, and there were no facilities for such a thing. Just the young captain's bag of surgical instruments, a few strong field hands to hold the animal down, and Mrs. Kamalacher, who acted as nurse. The operating table was a rocky field under a penetrating drizzle of rain. But Captain Tony Kamalacher couldn't be stopped with mere inconveniences. After giving the bull a dose of tranquilizers and a shot of local anesthetic, he proceeded with surgery. Just as the operation was completed, the bull came to life. With a mighty lurch, it leaped to its feet, throwing the field hands aside like sticks, and, for thanks, immediately charged at the surgeon. But Kamalacher escaped over a nearby stone wall. The bull recovered, and its grateful owner renamed it Kamalacher for its debut in the ring, where, Portuguese style, it is against the law to kill the bull. That's how a simple act of kindness brought about new understanding, a step on the road to freedom, the right of all men, everywhere.
Now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Mason-Dixon mismatch matter.
After telling me that the Mason girl had used one of her charge accounts just 5 days before the body was discovered on the beach, Captain Miller produced the original sales slip. Written across the bottom of it was the name Darla Mason.
I wish to heaven I could be positive it's really her signature.
You mean you think it's a forgery, Captain?
I don't think anything yet.
Mr. Dollar, you believe it's Darla's signature, don't you?
Well, I haven't anything to compare the signature with, Mrs. Mason.
Mrs. Mason, do you happen to have any of your daughter's legal documents at home, or her driver's license, or anything else that might contain her signature?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You can order a copy from the Department of Motor Vehicles, Captain.
Yeah, I will.
What do you want it for, Captain?
Well, it's just a matter of form, Mr. Mason. We have to be sure.
But Darla's mother and me, we are sure. And we're the only ones that count.
Well, that's not quite true, Mr. Mason.
What?
Have you forgotten about the Dixons?
Oh, yeah, I guess I did for a minute. Well, you go ahead. Mrs. Mason and me will be at home.
Yes, sir.
You'll let us know as soon as you can, Captain.
Yes, ma'am, I will.
Thank you.
Well, Darla, now what?
How far is Providence, Captain?
40 miles. Why?
Well, I don't know about that store over there, but where I came from, before a person could charge on an expensive item like a fur wrap, he'd have to produce some identification.
Unless
Yeah?
the salesperson recognized him. Or her. What do you think?
It's 3:10 now. If we hurry, we might have time to do a little shopping. We made it in an hour and a half. The first salon at Kennedy's is on the second floor, back, away from the escalator.
I remember her quite well, Mr. Dollar.
And you're sure it was Darla Mason?
Oh, yes, I know, because I was so surprised to see her.
Oh, how's that?
Well, I read the papers, Mr. Dollar. I knew she'd been away.
Had you ever waited on her before, Miss Trumbull?
No, I had not.
Do you remember how she was dressed?
Well, she had on a hat. Gray felt fitted real close to her head, so you couldn't see any of her hair. And, yes, a navy blue dress, raw silk, I believe, and real décolleté.
What?
Low cut, Captain.
Oh.
Did you recognize her when she first walked in, or not until she told you her name?
Well, you men are so picky. I don't remember everything.
I'm sorry. Miss Trimble, I have 2 snapshots here. In a moment, I want you to tell me which of these 2 girls is Darla Mason.
Well, that won't be hard to do.
But first, may I borrow a pair of scissors and a small piece of paper, please?
Certainly. Here you are.
Thanks.
What the devil are you up to, Johnny?
Cutting paper hats. What do you think?
What?
Come over here to the counter. Miss Trimble, if you'll just wait there a second, please.
Yes, whatever you say.
This had better be good.
I think it will be. Now, watch. All right. I put the snapshots on the counter, and on the head of each girl,
Johnny.
One of my little paper hats.
Oh, really? This is ridiculous.
Is it? Take a look.
But well, I'll be... When did you spot this?
Today, at the Dixon house. Miss Trimble,
Yes, sir?
would you come over now, please?
Yes, certainly.
All right. Look at the snapshots and tell me which of these ladies bought that fur from you last week.
Why, you've covered up their hair.
You said she wore a hat, didn't you?
Yes, but, well,
Which one of them was it, Miss Trimble?
I'm not sure.
Uh-huh.
They look so much alike with their hair covered like that. I'm just not sure.
The Mason girl had worn her hair short in the Italian style. Ruth Dixon, who didn't have the money to spend on beauty parlors, had let hers grow long and full. But both girls had similar features, and apparently I was the only one who had noticed this. Or was I? Captain Miller and I went to the credit department where we compared the signature on the sales slip with Darla Mason's original credit application. After that, well, there was little doubt in our minds as to what had happened. It was almost 7 when I got back to my hotel, took a shower, and stretched out to do a little thinking. Yeah, hello.
Hi.
Hi, yourself. Who is it?
Oh, come on, Johnny. Who are you expecting?
Well...
Don't tell me you've forgotten about our date.
Oh, no. Where shall I meet you, Miss...
I'll meet you. Be right up, Johnny boy.
I wasn't quite dressed when she began pounding on the door. I tucked my shirt in and opened the door.
Hi.
Joni.
Well, who else? Well, don't look so amazed. Invite me in.
Oh, sorry. Come in.
That's more like it.
You don't mind if I leave the door open, do you?
Worried, Johnny?
Oh, no. It's just that I like lots of air.
You're cute.
So are you for a 17-year-old.
18. But
I'm quite sure you are. Now, Joni, before we go out tonight, would you mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
I thought you probably would.
Oh, why?
Well, I'm sure everyone in Newport knows about Darla charging that for a rap.
I see.
What do you want to ask me, Johnny?
It's about the day Darla disappeared.
Yes,
Well, you said she was in the bar with a stranger, right?
that's right.
But you and I, we both know that every stranger who enters the yacht club has to sign a guest book. Correct?
Well, he's given a temporary card.
With the name of the member who invited him to the club also registered in the book.
You're very clever, Mr. Dollar.
Why did you lie to the police and your parents, Joni?
Darla's my sister. I thought maybe someday she'd do the same for me.
Will you tell me who the stranger was? Or shall I go over to the yacht club and start checking their guest book?
I'll tell you.
Yeah?
Would you mind closing that door?
Tell me first.
His name's Peter Hansen.
Who is he?
My mother can answer that. Or my father.
Who is he, Joni?
A tutor. My mother hired him for Darla and me. He moved into our house about 3 months ago. Of course, he didn't stay long.
Where was he from?
I don't really know. But I know how you can find out.
Yeah?
Mother hires all her help from the Castelloni Employment Agency in Providence. If anyone has his home address, they will.
I started calling the Castelloni agency at 8:30 the next morning. Hansen's last known address was in Providence, and half an hour later I was headed toward the highway. It wasn't until I reached the turnpike that I noticed I was being followed by a battered blue sedan. Hansen had moved, but he'd left a forwarding address, and 3 hours and 2 addresses later, I turned down a lonely oyster shell road and stopped. Ahead of me, I could see a small beach cottage, and still behind me, the battered blue sedan.
You make it real easy for a man to follow you, Mr. Dollar.
If I had known it was you, sir, I wouldn't have.
I hope you don't mind my tagging along like this.
Mr. Dixon.
Now, wait. I know what you're going to say. But let me say this first, Mr. Dollar. I've waited around, wondering if it was our girl you would find or the other one for so long. Well, I just couldn't anymore. I had to do something. You understand that, don't you?
Yes, sir, I think I do.
Good. Well, then, you go on about your business, and I won't bother you. You go on up to that house, and I'll wait right here. Go on now.
Yes, sir.
I wasn't sure who or what I would find in that beach house, but I was sure no amount of talk could persuade Mr. Dixon to leave until I did. I knocked on the door for a good minute before it finally opened.
Yeah?
Mr. Hansen?
Yeah, what is it?
My name is Dollar. I'm an insurance.
Insurance man. Oh, I thought you... Honey, it's just an insurance salesman. Look, Dollar, even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy any insurance from you. You come around too early.
You didn't let me finish.
Huh?
I'm not a salesman. I'm an investigator.
Oh.
Hey! Oh, give it up, Hanson.
No! Honey! Honey!
Honey,
Pete, don't let him.
you can't stop me, Hanson.
You want to bet?
Yeah.
Kill him, Pete. Kill him. Pete, look out!
No!
Oh, Pete. Oh, Pete.
You'll be all right.
Why did you have to find us? Why?
Why did you disappear? You know how much trouble you've caused?
I can read, I know.
It didn't bother you? Your family not knowing whether you were dead or alive?
Not a bit. I'd be happier if they thought I was dead.
Oh, Dolly, you don't mean that.
I proved it, didn't I?
I'm not sure. Why did you disappear?
Because I was bored. Tired and sick of living like my family makes me live.
And how's that?
Come out here. You see those birds?
The seagulls, yeah.
Beautiful, aren't they? You know why?
All right, why?
Because they're free. Because they can live any way they want with no responsibilities, no reputation to worry about. Oh, boy, how I envy them.
Mr. Dollar.
We're around back, sir.
All right, now you tell me something.
Sure.
How'd you know that wasn't me they found on the beach?
Because of that fur wrap you charged at Kennedy's.
But how did... I told them to send the bill here.
They didn't. It went to your house.
Oh, no. Somebody sure goofed.
Yeah, Dollar. You sure did.
Mr. Dollar, are you all right? I thought... Oh.
Mr. Dixon,
Mr. Dixon?
Yes, darling. He followed me here hoping I'd lead him to his daughter.
Oh. Gee, Mr. Dixon, I'm sorry if there's anything I can do.
My daughter was fine. Decent. But you...
Oh, Mr. Dixon.
After what you did to your parents and to us, making us wonder for so long, not knowing whether it was you or our daughter who was dead. Believe me, I wish it were you.
Like Bert McGraw told me a long time ago, somebody has to handle the rough ones. And for me, this was it. Henry Dixon was in no condition to drive his car, so he rode back with us. And on the way, well, Darla Mason will never forget the things he said to her. Neither will I. As for Ruth Dixon, who murdered her and why, well, that's up to the Newport police. Expense account total, including hotel bill, car rental, and transportation back to Hartford, $319 exactly. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, well, I suddenly found out there was more to this case I just finished. More. The really tough part. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. Written by Charles B. Smith, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Mary Jane Croft, Jeanette Nolan, Gene Tatum, Frank Nelson, Will Wright, Austin Green, and Marvin Miller. Musical supervision is by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Dollar.
This is Ed Porter, Mr. Dollar. You called my office?
Yes, I'd like to see you as soon as I can, Mr. Porter.
Well, of course. How long have you been in town?
About a half an hour.
Are you all squared away?
I've got a room and I've had a bath, if that's what you mean.
Well, then I guess you're ready to go to work.
I will be as soon as I put on some pants.
You sound in a rush.
I'm always in a rush when I think somebody might be chipping us out of $100,000.
Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Western Life and Trust Company, 826 Spear Boulevard, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Markham matter. Expense account item 1, $143.69, air transportation from Hartford to San Francisco. Item 2, $17 for incidentals along the way, including transportation from the airport to the St. Francis Hotel. I walked the 8 blocks to the Commodore building where Ed Porter had his office on the 4th floor. He was a short, thin insurance broker with a face like a tight drum. He apologized for the clammy weather as though it were his fault. He asked me how things were out on the East Coast and invited me to sit down and looked as uncomfortable as he was.
I got the telegram you were coming last night. Investigator. I've never met one in all my years in the business. Must be very interesting work.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to take up too much of your time, Mr. Porter, but I would like to get some information from you.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Dollar.
What can you tell me about a man named Floyd Markham?
Markham? Well, he's the husband of a client of mine. I've met him, but I really can't tell you too much about him. My dealings have always been with Mrs. Markham. She's my customer.
Then tell me about Mrs. Markham.
Oh, certainly. I'm not going to ask why. I'm sure you have a good reason for coming all the way to San Francisco.
The Home Office thinks I have an excellent reason.
Yes. Mrs. Markham. Well, I've known her for 20 years as a customer. She's wealthy, always has been, and she handles her money well, and she lives rather well.
Mrs. Markham's the one who has the money, huh?
Mr. Markham is a salaried man, an industrial engineer. Frankly, I think he depends on Mrs. Markham for his livelihood.
Oh, yeah. These 2 checks were issued to Mrs. Markham this year. Recognize them?
Yes. Full payments on 2 endowment policies, $50,000 apiece. And they've cleared the bank. Anything wrong with them?
Nothing wrong with the checks.
On payoffs like this, I always take it in person. It's a custom, of course, to call and make an appointment and deliver the check to the client.
Mm-hmm. And try to sell a little more insurance in the bargain.
Well, that's about the idea, yes.
Yeah. Anything strange about Mrs. Markham when you delivered either one of these checks?
No.
Before I left Hartford, I looked up her insurance records. Her premiums are always paid right on the button. Mrs. Markham doesn't have a business office or a business manager handling her affairs. The checks are always personal checks on her personal account. Now, can you explain why someone like that might forget a 3rd endowment policy?
Why, no.
Well, there is a 3rd endowment policy. It matured this month. I have the check with me for $50,000.
Well, yes, but this business of forgetting...
Floyd Markham called Hartford and spoke to the head of the endowment division. He explained that Mrs. Markham was ill and didn't know whether or not a 3rd policy existed. He said he was checking for her.
Uh-huh.
Now, you say you've known Mrs. Markham over a period of 20 years. Well, is she the kind of person who'd forget $50,000?
Oh, no one forgets $50,000.
Did you notice that both of those checks were deposited in the Markham's joint account?
Well, no. Oh, so they were. Maybe Mrs. Markham's feeling generous these days.
Why do you say that?
Well, they have a rather strange relationship as far as I've been able to perceive. I mean, what money he makes is his, and what she has is hers.
Oh, yeah.
I always like to get out of that house because they never seem to me to be a very close couple in any way. But this seems to make sense now.
How's that, Mr. Porter?
Well, now, I called up and made an appointment to deliver both of these checks. The first time I went over, Mrs. Markham was ill. And the second time, she had just stepped out for a few minutes.
Well, who accepted the checks?
Mr. Markham.
Both times?
Yes. As a matter of fact, now that I think of it, he made the appointment on the phone both times.
When was the last time you saw Mrs. Markham?
Last spring.
A check with the bank revealed that Mrs. Markham had not personally made a deposit since June the 18th. The deposit slips were initialed by Floyd Markham. The checks were endorsed by Leslie Markham. There had been no unusual withdrawals. Expense account item 3, $30, stenographic and notary services for the attached statements.
Mrs. Markham's been having her hair done here for nearly 10 years now. Once a week, every Thursday morning. Then she just stopped. I called her home, and Mr. Markham informed me that she was away on an extended trip.
Mr. Markham called us, it was last June, and informed us that Mrs. Markham was resigning her membership in the Bridge Club. I telephoned the house twice to see what was the matter. Mr. Markham answered both times and said Mrs. Markham was out.
Well, she used to come in here 2 or 3 times a month. Made us go over the car from top to bottom. She hasn't been around now for 7 or 8 months. I don't know who's taking care of the car.
Expense account item 430 cents, 3 phone calls to the Markham residence. I didn't state any particular business. I simply asked to speak to Mrs. Markham. Each time I called, a male voice answered. Each time, the male voice told me Mrs. Markham was out, she was ill, and she was away on a short trip. Industrial Management Limited, Floyd B. Markham president, has a 3-room office suite near the Embarcadero. 10 years ago, it had been sensationally new and glassy. When I got there, the carpet was a little too thin and the varnish a little too thin, too. The whole place smelled faintly of mildew.
Yes?
I'd like to see Mr. Markham, please.
Do you have an appointment?
No, not exactly. My name is Harris. I'm with the Cleveland Pump Company.
Pump Company?
Yes, we're setting in 38 of our installations at the new plant in Valparaiso. Didn't you get my letter?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm afraid... May I ask your name again?
Harris, Stephen B. Harris, Cleveland Pump Company.
Oh, yes. Well, Mr. Harris, I'm afraid Mr. Markham never received your letter. When did you mail it?
30 days ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks. Well, tell Mr. Markham I'm here and I'll...
I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. Mr. Markham isn't in the office just now.
Oh. Well, I'll wait.
Well...
Well?
He won't be in today. As a matter of fact, he won't be in the rest of the week.
Where can I call him?
Well, I'm afraid that's impossible.
Can't I call him at home?
No.
Now, look, is he in business or isn't he?
Mr. Harris, Mr. Markham hasn't been in the office for 6 months or more. He's tied up on a rather long-range project.
What's your name?
I'm Miss Beidler.
Why didn't you say that in the first place, Miss Beidler?
Well,
Who else can I talk to here?
No one, I'm afraid.
You mean that's all there is in this office? Just you and him when he feels like coming in?
I'll tell Mr. Markham you were here.
The Markham house was on Fioradella Street, about 6 blocks from the Fairmont Hotel. Stone walls, iron grillwork, tangling ivy. An old house that had been built by rich people for rich people to live in. The kind of shabby-looking place that only New Yorkers and San Franciscans can get by with and still be called wealthy. I used Ed Porter's car with the Western Life and Trust Company emblem on the door, parked it in the driveway as close as I could to the entrance. It was exactly 1 o'clock when the door opened. He was tall and pretty, with black hair and broad shoulders.
Yes? What is it?
I'd like to see Mrs. Markham, please.
I'm Mr. Markham. Can I help you?
My name's Dollar. I'm with Western Life and Trust Company. Mr. Porter called you?
No, he didn't.
Oh, well, I must have slipped his mind. He said he was going to call.
What's it about?
I brought a check from Mrs. Markham on her 3rd endowment policy.
Oh. Well, I'll give it to her. She isn't in right now.
Well, I'm supposed to deliver it to her. I'll come back another time when she's in.
No, you can give it to me. I'll see that she gets it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Markham, but I have
Look,
to give
I know you want to give her the check and try to sell her some more insurance. She's just not in the market. And you can save your little spiel where it'll do some good.
Oh, you misunderstand me, Mr. Markham. I have to deliver this to her in person.
What's your name again?
Dollar. Johnny Dollar.
Come in.
I'll wait till she comes back and make an appointment. Mr. Porter told me he'd made it for 3 today.
She's here. Just come in.
Why the runaround, then?
Mrs. Markham is desperately ill. I don't want to disturb her with things like this.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. What's the trouble?
Very serious anemia. So if you'll just give me the
check... I have a report
to
to make out when I deliver this.
I just
Only take a minute to hand her the check. Then it'll be off my mind and off your mind.
Now, look here, Mr.
Didn't you call the company's home office about this check?
I called because Mrs. Markham requested me to call.
Oh, yes.
Just wait here.
In the little swirl of his exit, I smelled shaving lotion and guessed at the brand name. I also guessed that his suit cost $300, even if I didn't know what San Francisco tailor had made it.
The shirt, the tie, the shoes were expensive, too. Yeah, Mr. Floyd Markham liked expensive things. I wondered if he dyed his hair to keep it all black. I wondered if he was 45 or 50. I also wondered why, in a house of that size, on that kind of street, a servant hadn't answered the door.
This way, Mr. Dollar.
He led me up a flight of stairs and finally into a high-ceilinged room with a fireplace at one end. A gray-haired woman with a sharp, angular face was seated near the window, looking out over the city and the bay. She didn't turn her head when we came into the room, but I could see that her eyes were watery and slightly glazed.
Please, don't take too long and don't upset her. Leslie. Leslie, dear.
Yes, Floyd.
This is Mr. Dollar from the insurance company. He has something for you. Now, be a good girl, Leslie, and speak to Mr. Dollar.
How do you do?
And ask him...
Yes. How is Mr. Porter?
Oh, he's fine, Mrs. Markham, fine. He'll be sorry to hear that you've been ill.
I really would rather that you didn't tell Mr. Porter.
Oh.
I'm satisfied to make my own slow recovery and not worry any of my friends. We'd like some sherry, Floyd.
Now, you know what the doctor said, Leslie.
Mr. Dollar, you'd like some sherry, wouldn't you?
Why, yes, I'd like that very much.
Floyd?
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Dollar. It's absolutely forbidden, and you know that, dear. Do you have the check, Mr. Dollar?
Yes, right here. Here you are, Mrs. Markham.
Thank you.
Is there anything else, Mr. Dollar?
Well,
Mr. Dollar?
Now, Leslie...
Yes? What is it, Mrs. Markham?
I'm very tired. Excuse me if I seem impolite. Good day.
Good day, Mrs. Markham. Expense account item 5, 10 cents. Phone call to Ed Porter at his office.
Yes, Mr. Dollar?
Look, Mrs. Markham's 5'5", about 120, black hair, gray streak to the right of the part, blue eyes, looks about 40 years old, a good 40.
Why, yes, that sounds like her. You mean you've seen her?
I've seen what's left of her, Mr. Porter.
Oh, good Lord, she's not dead.
Almost.
What?
He's killing her, Mr. Porter. My guess is he's been at it for about 6 months.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment. Nobody will take a frown at face value anymore now that the word has gotten around about Jack Benny's return to the air. With Mary Livingston, Dennis Day, Rochester, Don Wilson, Mel Blanc, Frank Nelson, and Mr. Kitzel, nothing less than your very best smile will do for the occasion. Tonight, and every Sunday night, hear CBS Radio's Jack Benny Show and give your sense of humor a real workout. Now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Markham Matter.
Take a rich old house on a rich old street in San Francisco. Walk in with a legitimate insurance check for $50,000 and tell a man named Floyd Markham you want to deliver it to his wife. Tell him this when you know that no one has seen or heard from his wife in 6 months. Just tell him you want to see her. Insist that you see her. Then stand around and listen to him lie a couple of times. Then let him take you to her. Give her the check. Say goodbye. 20 minutes after I walked out of the Markham's house and picked up Ed Porter, we drove back to the house and parked 100 feet from the entrance.
This is the darndest thing I ever heard of, Mr. Dollar. I'm not sure it's all clear to me. What's our position?
Oh, I wouldn't know that, Mr. Porter. That's up to the legal department. This much I'm sure of right now. Markham's already deposited $100,000 of her insurance money into a joint account. If I'm not mistaken, this last check will go into that account, too. Right now, while we're sitting here, she's probably endorsing that check.
Well, then I don't see where it's any of our
He's
business.
making her endorse the check. He's making her stay in that house, in that room, away from everybody.
Well, how? What way? He said she was ill. You said she appeared ill. I don't
know how he's doing it, but I'm going to find out.
Are you sure this isn't all surmise on your part?
You weren't in the room when she said, let's have some sherry. Please, let's have some sherry.
Well, I must be pretty
She was
dumb.
really trying to say she wanted him to leave the room so she could talk to me. So she could have 1 little minute to tell me what the matter is, what's going on. His next move is to deposit that check. Then one big withdrawal, the whole $150,000, and bye-bye Floyd Markham.
Mr. Dollar, I'm just an insurance broker. I don't understand that... Well,
how'd you like to be an investigator for about 10 minutes?
Me?
Yeah. You see that car that just pulled up in the driveway?
Well, yes,
The girl driving it holds down that dummy office of Markham's. Her name's Beidler. She might be in on this with him.
And that's Mr. Markham leaving the house.
Good. Now, look, here's what you do. Follow them. I think I know where they're going, but you follow them and make sure.
Well, where are they going?
To the bank to deposit that check.
Oh. Well, where are you going?
To have that glass of sherry, Mr. Porter. Ed Porter pulled his hat down low over his face and put both hands on the wheel and took out after that 55 Cadillac sedan. I crossed the street, went back up on the porch of the house and knocked. I didn't expect her to answer. I didn't expect anyone to answer, but I wanted to make sure. I went around to the garden. There wasn't a sound in the big old house when I opened the garden door and went up the stairs again. The door to her room was closed. She wasn't by the window anymore. She was stretched out on the divan. I felt her wrist for a pulse. It was there, faint, but there. About 3 inches up her arm, there was a series of little marks. I lifted one eyelid and felt her neck muscles. She was doped to the ears. Mrs. Markham. Mrs. Markham, can you hear me? Look, I've come to help you.
Me?
Yes. Yes, I'm going to take you out of here. Now, don't be frightened.
Mr. Dollar?
That's right. That's right. That's the ticket.
Insurance company.
Yes.
Now I remember.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for bringing my check. I don't want
Want what, Mrs. Markham?
Want any of my friends to worry.
Oh.
I'm improving, but I don't want them to know I'm ill. Just say I'm out of town for a while.
He told you to say that, didn't he?
Yes. He told me to say exactly that. Mr. Dollar, don't fool me. Please don't fool me.
What?
You will help me get out of here. You aren't fooling me, are you? Are you?
I carried her downstairs and put her in my car and drove her to the St. Regis Emergency Hospital. Expense account item $100, deposit with the hospital office. I explained as much as necessary to the intern who promised to advise me when Mrs. Markham became rational. After that, I drove back to the house. Ed Porter's blue coupe was parked across the street.
I didn't know what to do but come back here. And when I got back, I didn't know what to do either.
Slow down. You're doing fine.
Oh, you were right. You were absolutely right. They went straight to the Bank of America to deposit that money.
I kind of thought they might be back here by now.
No, they're over at Angelo's having a drink and some dinner. I followed them there.
You're getting to be quite a sleuth, Mr. Porter.
Well, I try to do my best and use my head. Mr. Dollar, did you talk to Mrs. Markham?
As much as I could. She was doped. I took her out and put her in the hospital.
Oh. Well, should you have done that, Mr. Dollar?
I could have left her up in that room to die, Mr. Porter.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well, what's our next move?
Ours?
Well, certainly. I can't quit now, Mr. Johnny.
Well, let's go to Angelo's, Eddie. Ed Porter settled the hat lower on his ears and gripped the wheel harder, and we took off for Angelo's on Stoker Street. When we got there, we didn't have to go inside to see if our people were still around. The Cadillac sedan was in the parking lot. So we took up a plant across the street.
Well, why wait? Why not go in and take them out of there and take them down to the police?
Well, that might blow the whole thing. Now, we have to wait and see what Mrs. Markham has to say when she's well enough to talk.
Yeah, but...
I'm sure she'll have some charges to prefer. In the meantime, we wait and see what's what.
Yeah, what do you think he'll do when he goes home and finds her gone?
Well, that'll be pretty interesting. What do you think he'll do?
Well, I imagine he'll He'll think she got up and walked out.
No, he knows better than that. He's had her doped up for 6 months. He knows he can go out of the house and she'll stay right where he left her while he's gone. No, that isn't it.
Oh. Well, then he'll know that she had help.
That's more like it, Mr. Porter.
I liked Eddie. It gives me kind of a feeling.
Okay, Eddie. Now answer the question.
Oh, what'll he do? Well, he'll try to get out of town. That's it. He'll try to leave town. He'll know that he's had it.
Come on.
Huh?
They're pulling out. We followed them to a cocktail lounge near the Presidio. We waited around outside the place for 2 hours. Expense account item 7, 25 cents. I called the St. Regis Receiving Hospital. Mrs. Markham's condition was unchanged. Item 8, $2, 2 hamburgers, 2 Cokes, and cigarettes for Mr. Porter and myself. We had just finished eating when Floyd Markham's Cadillac turned out onto the street. We followed it for 10 minutes. When Markham parked on a dark hill, we cut our lights and came to a stop.
Mr. Dollar.
Yeah, Eddie.
Can you see what they're doing?
Yeah.
What?
Necking.
Huh?
Necking. You know.
I should have telephoned my wife.
At 12:10, Floyd Markham turned the car around and drove back into town. We followed once more. We saw him double park outside a 4-story apartment house on a steep hill, let the woman out, then drive on. Eddie?
Yeah, Johnny?
Think you can handle something else alone?
Oh, I'd love to.
Women sometimes talk a lot easier than men. You keep on him. When he finds his wife absent, I want to know where he goes.
Wherever it is, I'll let you know. You gonna shake her down?
Something like that. Get going. I watched my new assistant investigator follow out after Markham's Cadillac. Then I went inside the apartment house. Beidler was on the mailbox of apartment 104. I walked down the hall, listened a minute, and gave it a try.
Yes? Well, what on earth are you doing?
I'm here to see you, Miss Beidler. It's important.
You're, Mr. Harris.
I'm Mr. Dollar, Johnny Dollar. I'm an insurance investigator.
Oh. There was something about you today. I wasn't sure.
Now you're sure.
Oh, what are you doing?
Right now, I'm working for Western Life and Trust Company. You better sit down.
Well, I don't know that I'd better do anything, Mr. Dollar. You're rather rude.
Then you can stand. We've been checking into Floyd Markham. I don't think I have to tell you what we found out so far. I think you also know that by this time tomorrow he'll be in jail and you might be right along with him.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Dollar. I simply
don't be
un-
sorry. Just use your head. I said you might be right along with him. On the other hand, if you have some useful information, the insurance company might be useful to you.
What do you mean?
Well, I figure he sold you on an island trip or an estate in the country bill of goods. It'll be harder getting it out of him, but we'll get it one way or another. We'll get it all right. Now, what do you want to do?
I want a drink. You?
Oh, thanks.
I'm not bad. I'm not a criminal. I've never been in trouble.
You are now.
Why? Because I fell in love with him?
Because you were helping him kill her.
What are you talking about?
Mrs. Markham. She's in a hospital right now.
What?
I took her there myself today. He's had her doped with I don't know what for months. Having her sign checks, endorse deposit slips.
Funny.
Is it?
He told me that Mrs. Markham was out of town, divorcing him. I wondered how. You were right. It was a country estate. In England. A genteel life, he said. The London theater, walks in the country, little harmless things that most people can never do. He said we could do them as soon as he cleaned up his affairs. Why, tonight he said we could start packing.
I took Iris Beidler with me back to the Markham house. The Cadillac was in the garage, and Ed Porter's blue coupe was pulled up across the street. When he saw us in the cab, he walked up.
Hi.
Hi. How's he doing? You can talk in front of her.
Well, he hasn't done anything. No, I mean, I saw the light go on upstairs in Mrs. Markham's room, then it went out again. He's downstairs now, sitting in the living room.
Okay, wait here. Hello, Markham.
Hello.
If you're worried about your wife, which I doubt, she's in a hospital.
Are you a policeman?
Insurance investigator. That's Miss Beidler in the taxi over there.
Oh.
I want you to come with me now.
Of course. Yes. You said your name was Dollar?
That's right.
Why couldn't you have come around, say, next week?
She'd have been dead by then.
That's the way she should have been for 16 years. Dead.
Yeah. Come on, Markham. Expense account, item 9, $102, hotel and board in San Francisco. Item 10, $116, airfare back to Hartford. Item 11, $42.16, miscellaneous. Remarks? This one will wind up in court. Mrs. Markham's charges will include attempted homicide, attempt to defraud, attempt to... In the end, it was his attempt to run away, and it didn't work. It never works. Even if you get away, you find something new to run from. Total expenses, $968.20. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Before I do, I want to say something to you about Thanksgiving. Now, there's a day that deserves celebration. And heartfelt thanks to the God who made us for being able to live in the most free and peaceful and bountiful country in the world. And yet, why wait for next Thursday or any Thanksgiving Day? For Americans, it seems to me, Thanksgiving should be every day. Think about it, won't you? Next week in our story, New Orleans, the French Quarter, a beautiful girl, and high adventure. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in tonight's cast were Lois Corbett, Frank Nelson, Virginia Gregg, Bert Holland, Paula Winslow, and John Daner. Musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Johnny, I've been trying to reach you for 2 days.
Who's that?
George Reed.
Oh, well, I took off a couple of days. George, what's on your mind?
A riddle.
Riddle?
Yeah, and a blonde photographer's model.
That's better.
How are you with riddles, Johnny?
Not as good as I am with... But go ahead, try me.
All right. A year ago, this model married Webster Preen.
Green Hat Company?
Was Preen Hat Company. He sold it when he retired.
Go on.
Well, last week, Preen reported his wife had disappeared. And according to him, when she left home, she didn't bother taking any of her clothes or car or jewelry.
And she forgot to tell her friends she was leaving?
Right. Not even him.
You think Preen told the truth?
Johnny, that's the riddle.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. To Floyd's of England, American Branch Office, 443 North 15th Street, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Mad Hatter matter. Expense account item 1, 85 cents, cab fare from my apartment to George Reed's office. He was seated behind his desk, his lily white nose buried in a copy of Playmate magazine. He didn't look up until I was halfway across the room.
Huh? Oh, Johnny, come in.
Hiya, George. What you reading?
I was just taking a look at Bridget Randall. Or Mrs. Preen, I suppose I should call her.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
Very nice.
She look familiar to you?
Oh, George, you're flattering me.
No, really. She should.
Oh, why?
Well, up until she married Preen, she was a very popular model.
Figures.
Is that a pun?
No.
Anyhow, her picture was in everything from the Police Gazette to the Ladies' Home Journal.
And after she married him?
She retired.
Hey, this is a new magazine, George, this month's issue.
Well, the picture must have been taken before she was married.
Well, what do you know about Preen?
Not too much. He's over twice her age, and from all reports has a lot of money.
I'd bet on it.
Their marriage caused quite a stir. You know, real winter and spring stuff. The newspapers played it up big.
Where were they married?
New York. She'd done some ad work for Preen's Hat Company. He liked her look.
And she liked his bankroll.
Cynical, aren't you?
Yeah.
Anyway, since then, they've been living at his place near Los Angeles. Here's the address.
All right, thanks.
I called Mr. Preen long distance day before yesterday. He knows you're coming out.
What about the police, George? You know who's handling their end of it?
According to Preen, it's a man named Steiner, detective lieutenant. I got the feeling Preen doesn't much care for Steiner.
George, how much life insurance does he carry on his wife?
None.
None?
Nope. Or if he does, it's not with us.
Then would you mind explaining why you sent for me?
Not at all. We're not interested in her life.
Obviously. That's a pretty callous attitude.
Let me finish. We're not interested in her life, but we are in her face.
In her what?
The fine print reads from a point 2 inches below her chin to the hairline.
Come on, break it down, George.
Of course. Last year, a couple of months before she married Preen, she took out a special coverage policy in case something happened to her face that would finish her modeling career. You know, like a permanent scar, bad burn, anything like that.
Uh-huh.
She received quite a bit of publicity at the time, and it didn't exactly hurt us either.
When does this policy lapse?
Well, that's why we're so concerned, Johnny. When she married Preen, she announced that she had given up modeling for good. So we quite naturally thought she wouldn't renew the policy.
But she did.
Yes. And just 10 days before she disappeared.
How much did you people bet that she wouldn't ruin her face?
The amount she earned year before last. $25,000.
Expense account item 2, 85 cents cab fare back to my apartment. On the way, I had the cabbie stop at a newsstand where I spent $50 of my hard-earned cash for a copy of Playmate magazine. Yeah, there was no doubt about it. Mrs. Webster Preen was the kind of woman any red-blooded American boy over 30 would be eager to locate. Item 3, $190 plane fare, Hartford to Los Angeles, then a cab to the Statler Hotel. I checked in, made arrangements to rent a car, then put in a call to police headquarters. Lieutenant Steiner was out, so I left word for him to call me, had lunch, and then drove out to the San Fernando Valley. The Preen home was one of those Spanish stucco and adobe jobs, 2 stories, probably 30, 40 years old. It sat in the middle of some 2 acres of orange trees with a plaster wall around all the property, separating it from the subdivision on one side and a main thoroughfare on the other. I walked up to the front door and rang the bell. In a moment, it was opened by a beautiful blonde. If she hadn't been wearing a nurse's uniform, I might have mistaken her for Bridget Preen.
Yes?
Afternoon. Is Mr. Preen in?
Do you have an appointment, Mr.
Dollar. Johnny Dollar. No, I don't have an appointment, but I'm sure he'll see me.
Really?
Yes, really. I'm investigating his wife's disappearance.
You're from the police?
No, insurance investigator.
I see. I'm sorry, Mr. Dollar, but Mr. Preen can't possibly see you.
You're sure of that, Miss...
Richard, and I am sure. Mr. Preen has suffered a severe shock. His doctor left strict orders that he's not to be disturbed unnecessarily.
And you feel qualified to say what is necessary and what isn't?
I've been with him for nearly 5 years.
Well, answer me this, Miss Richards. Do you think Mr. Preen's health would improve if somebody happened to find his wife?
What? I mean, they haven't found her, have they?
You haven't answered my question.
You want my honest opinion, Mr. Dollar?
Helen, who is it? Who's out there with you?
Excuse me. No one important.
It's Johnny Dollar, Mr. Preen.
Now, just a minute.
Mr. Dollar, come in. Come in. Have him come to the orchid room, Helen.
Yes, sir. Well, I hope you enjoy steam baths, Mr. Dollar.
Steam bath? What do you mean?
Follow me. You'll find out.
A pretty girl, in spite of her abrupt manner. And there was a lot going on behind those clear blue eyes. She led me into the house through a couple of large rooms, then up a winding staircase and down the hall to a door at the end of it.
Miss Preen's waiting for you in there, Johnny.
Thanks. Ouch! Hey, that doorknob's hot as... Oh, very funny.
I warned you. Here, like this.
Come here, Mr. Dollar. Hurry.
I'll see you later, Johnny.
Close the door. Close it. I don't want it to cool off in here. Well, you look surprised.
Well, I didn't expect to meet you in a hothouse, Mr. Preen.
I'm sorry if you're uncomfortable, but orchids must have plenty of heat and moisture. Now, me, I love it. I didn't used to, but since I am at the age where a man is nothing but stick and dried parchment, you can take off your jacket if you like, Mr. Dollar.
Thanks.
Do you know anything about orchids?
Well, only that they're expensive.
Aren't all beautiful things? Sit down, sir. Any place that's clean. We can talk while I do this. You know what I'm doing.
I haven't the least idea.
What the bees would normally do, that is, if these plants were in their native environment.
Pollination?
Yes, sir. Would you mind handing me those tweezers? Yes. Thank you.
Hey, how many plants do you have here?
More than 200, Mr. Dollar. 36 different varieties.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, yes. Lovely, delicate creatures. Mr. Dollar, do you think you'd be able to find her?
Well, I'm going to try.
I'd appreciate it. I have so very few things left these days. Did you notice the orange trees when you drove in?
Well, yes.
When I bought this house, the land on both sides was nothing but orange groves. Beautiful orange trees. Green, growing things as far as the eye could see. And now it's a housing project.
Yes, well, Mr. Preen, I understand you aren't entirely satisfied with the efforts the police are making to find your wife.
And you understand correctly. They have done nothing but ask me the same asinine questions over and over again. Have you talked to them?
No, sir. I felt that I should see you first, get all the information you have.
I will cooperate with you all the way, Mr. Dollar.
All right. When exactly did she disappear?
Just 10 days ago. She'd come down from our place up at Lake Arrowhead, where she'd spent Saturday and Sunday.
Uh-huh.
We had planned on going up together that weekend, but I developed a cold.
Oh?
The evening she returned, I retired earlier than usual, and then when I awoke about 11:30 that night, she wasn't in her room. I called to her, searched the grounds, then waited up. But she never came home.
I see. Was anyone else in the building that evening?
No. We were alone. Rather, I was.
Any sign of a injury to her face, blood, anything like that?
Nothing.
Uh-huh. Do you remember if she made any remark earlier? Anything that had given you some indication as to whether she planned to go out?
She had no plans. She was tired from the drive home, had already put cream on her face and her hair up in curlers. But...
Yes?
Well, she did say something about wanting to go back to Arrowhead the next day.
And you're positive she didn't that night?
Mr. Dollar, my wife is a very beautiful woman. and an extremely vain woman. She would never leave this house with her hair in such a state.
Oh?
And even if it were brushed, she wouldn't leave on an overnight trip without taking along a complete wardrobe.
All right. What do you think has happened to her?
I don't know what to think. If I did, I wouldn't have gone to the police.
A few minutes later, I left the lonely old man with his orchids and started toward the stairs. I was about halfway down when I suddenly felt as though I'd forgotten something. Only I was sure I hadn't. Still, something was wrong about this setup. I was trying to figure out what it was when Miss Richards called me.
Johnny,
Yeah.
I'm in here. Better put your jacket on. You'll catch cold.
Yeah, well, you better let me worry about that, huh, nurse?
Helen, Johnny, I'm sorry I was so rude. But I thought you were just another detective who was going to upset Mr. Preen.
Now, what makes you think I didn't?
Because he didn't shout at you.
Does he usually shout at detectives?
He ripped into Lieutenant Steiner yesterday morning.
Oh? You know why?
Well, the police have a crazy idea that Mrs. Preen's body could be buried somewhere on the grounds or upstairs in the hothouse bed.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, they've been after him trying to get his permission to dig.
If they were really serious about it, they wouldn't need his permission. They'd get a warrant.
Johnny, you don't believe Mr. Preen killed his wife, do you?
At this moment, I have no reason to.
Well, everyone knows what a kind and gentle person he is.
What about Mrs. Preen, Helen? Well?
I hate her.
Why? You, care for him?
I don't like that.
All right, sorry.
He's a fine man, a gentleman. There aren't many left.
No, I guess not. He called Mrs. Preen extremely vain. Would you go along with that description?
It was made for her.
Suppose something had happened to her that night. Suppose, well, something that scarred or burned her face. What do you think she'd do?
If she lost her beauty, she'd kill herself.
Even if she threw away $25,000 by doing it?
I know about that policy, but even if it was doubled, she'd still do it.
Why? Because she wouldn't have the nerve to face her friends?
Friends. Bridget Preen never had any friends. But that isn't what happened to her.
What did?
I don't know, but I'm sure she's dead.
Why? Why, Helen?
Johnny, please.
Tell me. Now, come on. I know you have a good reason for saying that. Now, let's have it.
All right. Come over here. I put them away in this drawer. See?
What are they?
Caps.
What?
Plastic dental caps. Actresses, models wear them over their teeth to give a perfect appearance. Bridget wouldn't leave a bedroom without them.
Where did you get them?
I found them on the floor of the garage 2 days after she disappeared.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment.
Democracy. What does it mean to the farmer? How can democracy benefit the farmer better than any other form of government? These are easy questions to answer because the facts are there. Only in a democracy can the farmer get the most aid from his government, own his own land, produce, and equipment, and still earn a standard of living that is comparable to workers in the manufacturing industries. That's because the people in a democracy tell their elected representatives they want it that way. Government subsidy, free enterprise, open markets, and the will to work and better himself enables the farmer in a democracy, such as the United States of America, to produce one of the world's finest diets. Scientific agricultural advancement and democratic government are the reasons why this can happen. This is a part of democracy. But whether it functions in agriculture or some other form of endeavor, democracy gives mankind its finest legacy of freedom.
Now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Mad Hatter Matter.
Helen, Mr. Preen's nurse, gave me the set of dental caps that Bridget Preen had used to beautify her teeth. And after telling her not to mention them to anyone, I drove back to my hotel in Los Angeles. Along the way, I racked my brain about whatever it was, something that had bothered me at Preen's home. Then, as I passed the newsstand in the hotel lobby, it hit me hard. I had been in almost every downstairs room of Preen's house, and not once had I seen a single picture of the beautiful and vain Bridget. In my room, I was about to call Preen and ask him why when somebody began pounding on my door.
Well, Dollar, we seem to have had a hard time making connections, didn't we? I'm Steiner.
Oh, how are you, Lieutenant?
Fine, just fine. And I think I've got our little case all sewed up.
That's so?
Yep. Yeah, you mind if I rest?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you. See, we've been checking back on Miss Preen's activities for the past few weeks.
Uh-huh.
Been making quite a few weekend trips, ain't she?
I wouldn't know.
We figure she found herself a new man, a young man, and took off for parts unknown.
What about her clothes? Why didn't she take them?
She didn't want to take what old Preen had given her. She's too proud.
A little too proud to be true. She had enough things paid for out of her own money to last a good many years.
Oh, now, Dollar, you guys let your imagination run away with you. Now, you look at this realistic. Here's a girl in her 20s married to a man who's content to sit home and wait for the golden chariot. And maybe she's content to sit there with him at first, but it ain't normal she should for long.
Yeah? You locate anyone who's seen her out with another man?
Nope. Tried to. That's the thing that's still stuck in my craw.
Well, I don't think you will.
Why not?
Because she was smart, a smart woman. If she had a boyfriend, and I'm not disagreeing with you on that score, she was very discreet about it.
Mr. Dollar, I'm not sure you were aware of it, but each time you mentioned Mrs. Preen, you referred to her in the past tense. Why?
Oh, no. Don't tell me I fell for the oldest trick in the business.
Come on, Dollar. Stop playing games and answer me.
Oh, you should talk about playing games, Steiner.
Sorry, but I wanted to throw you off guard.
Oh, you did, pal. You did.
What did you learn bird-dogging around today, Dollar?
Nothing, Steiner. Nothing.
Look,
really.
You either let me have all the information you've received today, or tonight you'll be on your way back to Hartford. Now, which is it?
Okay. Preen's nurse, Miss Richards, found these on the floor of the garage 2 days after Mrs. Preen disappeared. You know what they are, I suppose. They don't have to be Mrs. Preen's.
Take a look at this chart, Dollar. We got it from her dentist last week. Now look at the caps.
Okay. What are you going to do?
What do you think? Arrest Webster Preen for the murder of his wife.
I told Steiner he could never get an indictment. The teeth caps definitely belonged to Bridget, but they were found in her own garage. She could have dropped them any time during that evening she came home from Arrowhead. And I reminded him of Preen's position in the community, his money, how well he was liked, everything. Hoping I could still stall him long enough for me to try something that had been in the back of my mind since I left Hartford. I opened a copy of Playmate magazine to Bridget's picture. Then I placed a long-distance phone call to New York City.
We're ready with your call to Mr. Howard, Mr. Dollar.
Okay, thank you, operator.
Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Howard. This is Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator.
Yes, Dollar?
A client of ours has her picture in the current issue of your Playmate magazine.
Oh, yes. Lovely girls,
Mr. Howard, her name is Bridget Preen.
Bridget Preen?
Or Randall. Bridget Randall.
Oh, yes, I know her very well. Well, where is she?
We aren't sure yet. Mr. Howard, I've got to know when that picture was made and the address of the photographer who shot it. Have you got that?
Yes, you just hold on. Now, I remember now I was surprised to see Bridget after all that talk about retiring.
Yeah.
Yes, here it is. Photographer's a new one as far as we're concerned.
What's his name?
Tracy. Russell Tracy.
Address?
Box 17. Got it?
Box 17.
Lake Arrowhead, California.
What?
Lake Arrowhead. You ought to know where that is.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. It took me a little less than 2 hours to drive up to Lake Arrowhead. When I reached the village, I stopped in at the post office.
Yes, sir. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking for an old friend of mine. He's got a place up here somewhere.
What's his name?
Tracy. Russell Tracy.
Oh, yeah, sure. Nice little cabin on the lake, about a half a mile down toward the left. You just follow the road.
Okay, thanks.
The cabin just before you get to Russell's has a big mailbox out in front with the name Preen on it. Got it?
Preen? Yeah, I sure have. I was there in 5 minutes. It was small, 2 rooms at the most. A dog came from the direction of Preen's cabin to bark at me, then went back into the woods again.
Yeah.
Russell Tracy?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Name's Dollar, insurance investigator. May I come in?
Yeah, come on in.
Thanks.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, what's this all about?
Bridget Preen.
Oh, wait a minute.
You wait,
I'm
friend.
not...
That's a very good picture of her in Playmate. You tell her you sold it?
Yes, I did.
When? The day you decided to submit it? Or after it was sold and too late to start publication? Or not until some other photographers started calling her home to see if she'd come out of retirement?
Now, look, Mr. Dollar, I haven't done anything wrong.
I didn't say you had.
I mean it, Dollar. All I did was take some pictures of her. I didn't have any reason to kill her.
Who said she was dead?
All right, Dollar, sit down. I'll give you the whole story, at least all I know of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Bridget liked modeling. She liked it better than anything else, I guess. And when she found out I was a photographer, well, she was over here most of the time.
What about the day she disappeared?
I'm getting to it. I'd needed some money a few weeks before that. I needed it bad. I had a run-in with the law in Texas a couple of years back. I haven't been able to hold on to a good job since.
Go on.
Well, I had this one shot of her, and I knew it was right, so I sent it in without her knowing about it.
When did she find out?
Well, like you said, photographers called her house. Her husband answered one of them.
You ever meet her husband?
Yeah, a couple of times when he was up here.
He knew you were a photographer?
He's been trying hard to get back at me for taking that shot of his wife.
How do you mean?
There's a dry well out in the back, about 20 yards from the fence line. After he killed Bridget.
He killed?
Yeah. Yeah, because the next morning I was out with my dog and we found her face down in the well. I guess he figured the sheriff would find her before I didn't figure I did it.
How do I know you didn't?
If I had, I wouldn't have dropped her in my own well, would I? Besides, why?
All right, she's still there.
No, I took her out that same morning, and it's a good thing I did, too. The sheriff and some detectives from L.A. were up here nosing around the next day.
Why would Preen want to kill her, Tracy?
All right, now, don't ask why, but Bridget was in love with me. The night she went back to L.A., she was going to tell him. I guess that, on top of the picture, was just too much for him to take. Dollar, you believe me, don't you?
Why didn't you report this to the sheriff?
I've got a record, Dollar, and Preen's got more money than he knows what to do with. Besides, there's no proof of what I've just said. It'd be his word against mine, and you know who'd come out on top.
Where's her body now?
I'll take it if you want.
Yeah. Bring your camera.
My camera?
And plenty of film. Don't ask me why I trusted him. I couldn't answer. Except, like he said, he didn't have any reason for killing Bridget. He led me deep into the woods, into a clearing. And there, well, he'd done his best to make her comfortable. We removed the rocks, and Bridget she was very dead. Expense account item 4, $5.20. Assorted phone calls, Arrowhead Springs to Los Angeles.
I've been hoping you'd call.
Is Mr. Preen there?
Yes, right now he's up with his orchid.
Have you seen Steiner?
Oh, yes, he was here this afternoon. He took Mr. Preen away with him. But in about an hour, Mr. Preen came
Now, look,
home.
Helen, you stay there, but keep out of his way. Do you understand?
Oh, Johnny, really, you're talking like he's a criminal.
Helen, do just as I say. I'll be there as soon as I can. After seeing that Russell Tracy was safe and in the custody of Steiner, I took the freeway out to the San Fernando Valley. It was a little after 9:30 when I pulled into the Preen driveway. The porch lights were on, and Helen opened the door.
Johnny, you look awful. You had dinner?
No, not yet.
Well, let me fix you something.
No, please, Helen, no thanks.
What's in the envelope?
Nothing important. Where's Mr. Preen?
Where do you suppose? Upstairs with his orchid.
Would you mind if I went right
Of
up?
course not, Johnny. You go ahead. When your dinner's ready, I'll call you.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Careful of the doorknob.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, Mr. Dollar, I didn't expect to see you back so soon.
Hello, Mr. Preen.
Didn't dress for it again, I see. You'd better take off your jacket, Mr. Dollar.
Afraid I'm not going to stay long enough to bother.
Oh, well, now that's too bad. Beauty such as this isn't often seen, Mr. Dollar.
I disagree with you, sir.
What?
I think I have something here that's every bit as beautiful as any flower in this hothouse.
Well, now, you have aroused my sporting instinct, son, and also my curiosity. What have you...
Here.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
She was
Please,
beautiful,
no.
wasn't she, Mr. Preen? Here, she's very beautiful. But here,
Oh, no.
look at this picture. Taken just a couple of hours ago. Yeah, what about this one? What about it, Mr. Preen? What do you think of your handiwork? Proud of what you've done, Mr. Preen?
No. No, please. No more, please.
Why did you do it?
I had to. I had to. She was going to leave me. Like everybody else had done. Everything does. She was going, and I couldn't let her. I just couldn't let her go.
The hunch had been right. After he'd killed Bridget, Preen had not been able to face the many photographs of her about the house, or any pictures of Bridget, as we learned. One photograph had caused her death. The others we took later put Bridget's husband away for the few remaining years of his life. Expense account total, including car rental, hotel incidentals, and transportation back to Hartford, $870.40. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, a fishing trip that could be very pleasant. Except that one of the fishermen is dead. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Edmund O'Brien as
Johnny Dollar.
Harry Poulton, Shipper's Indemnity. Johnny, how soon can you get to Buffalo?
6 hours by train.
Take a plane.
All right, I'll take a plane. Why?
So you can get on this case while it's still hot.
Get on what case, Harry?
Atlantic Central Railway. Some guys knocked over one of their boxcars last night and heisted half the load. We carry a blanket policy on all their freight, so get going.
Yes, sir, Mr. Polden, right away.
And watch your expense account.
Edmund O'Brien in another transcribed adventure of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Harry Polden, Shipper's Indemnity, Hartford, Connecticut.
The following is an account of expenditures incurred during investigation of Atlantic Central Railway's claim regarding missing freight, or the story of the 1008. Expense account item, transportation, plane fare, Hartford to Buffalo, $48.16, plus cab fare, $6.35 to the main offices of the Atlantic Central Railway, where a tall, heavy-set man in a dusty blue serge pulled a cold cigar from the side of his mouth and spun a swivel chair in my direction.
I'm Eve Grimm's, Dollar. Sit down. Now, let me close this door. Well, you didn't take long getting here.
I wasn't very far away.
I'm the cinder bull for this outfit, and I'd be doing what you're going to do if it was like the old days.
Only Shipper's Indemnity handles the insurance, and it's our job now. That's the service you pay for, Mr. Grimm.
When they stuck me in this desk, I'd been knocking deadheads around for 20 years and seeing they got themselves 30 days on the road gang. Now I'm just... I guess they figure I'm too old.
Well, maybe you can give me a hand on this.
Well, I'd like to, John. I need some action.
You want to tell me about it, Mr. Grimm?
You bet. Atlantic Central hustled 6 gully jumpers a day up to Rochester. 5 hours after the 1008 leaves here last night, she jerks up at Batavia so the clowns can water her down. That's when the Donegan notices one of her brownies is busted open and half the jig is gone. So, right away, he wang-doodles a copper buster up the line. Are you getting this?
I think so. Translated, you mean the brakeman at Batavia found the boxcar had been broken into and half the cargo stolen, and he phoned ahead to the telegraph office.
That's it. All sorts of stuff on the car. Don't know what all's gone yet. It was a make-up, any kind of freight, you know. I got the poodles over in the bullpen looking up the invoices to see exactly what's missing. It'll take a while.
Good, that'll help. Who was in charge of the loading here?
Andy Matson. Been with us 13 years. He inspected it and sealed it down himself. I talked to him already, but call him in if you like.
Well, I might want to see him later. What about the brakeman in Batavia?
A Gandy dancer, Skeeter Minkowski. Nah, he couldn't have done it. That highball only lingered there long enough to get water. Can't unload a brownie in 3 minutes. Take more like 3 hours.
What other stops did she make?
1. 6 minutes at the junction, 15 miles outside of here, waiting for a hot-shot passenger to get by.
And all in all, the train stopped 10 minutes at the most, huh?
Not long enough to unload a kiddie car. An engineer named Roper claims he spotted a dame in a red dress hanging around the yard yesterday afternoon. And the boys at the roundhouse say the same dame was in asking questions about trains leaving. Said she was from a newspaper.
She give a name?
Ruth Smith. I checked. No newspaper in town got any Ruth Smith working for him.
Well, she's our tipster. Let's get somebody out to look for her.
Already got somebody out doing that.
Good. Now, along the route up to Rochester, between here and Batavia, there must be a highway running parallel to the track somewhere, huh? And whoever cracked into that boxcar had to get aboard at the junction, then toss the stuff from the moving train and jump off somewhere this side of Batavia. And there had to be a truck following along on the road to pick up the stuff in the dark. You been out there yet, Mr. Grimms?
No. Kind of thought I'd wait around, see what sort of bulwarkers the insurance companies are turning out these days. I like you, Johnny. You're all right. You figured how it was done fast. Other guys that are hemmed and hawed around asking train crews questions I already asked. Well, what's next?
Find out who did it.
Kind of frisky, ain't you? I like that, too.
Hey, have you got a car I can borrow, Mr. Grimms?
I got a Jeep and a chauffeur to go with it.
Who's the chauffeur?
Me. You said you might want me to help you. I bought the thing from Army surplus. I want to see if I got a bargain.
Expense account item, $4.38 for gasoline, which went into a Jeep that Eve Grimms and I used to follow the lonely stretch of old road that ran parallel to the Atlantic Central Railroad tracks. 2 miles beyond the junction, we found heavy-duty tire marks which could have been made by a truck which could have left the road, then driven over the flats as far as the embankment to pick up freight which could have been thrown from the moving train. Following the right-of-way, we found several such tire marks at several points turning off the road, but no building nearby. Finally, at one place, we found an unpainted shanty that stood barren and lonely against the sky. It belonged to a man named Bogardus.
Big truck? You're danged right I did, mister. You're dang boodly-doodle right. Woke me up, it did.
Well, what did the truck look like? Do you remember what the truck looked like?
Yeller. Yeller it was, all yeller. Seen it plain, even though it was night.
You happen to notice the license number?
You kidding, sonny?
All right, forget it. Did you happen to notice any lettering on the truck, Mr. Bogart?
Don't read, never learn, never believed in it. Nope.
Well,
Don't make no difference, though. It wasn't nothing writ on it anyhow.
oh.
The trucks usually got printing on 'em. Dang things making all that noise, grunting and heaving and waking a man out of his sleep. Ain't had nothing like that since the Army maneuvered here in 41. No, sir. Are you going to stop it?
Well, I hope so.
Good.
Did you happen to see who was driving the truck?
Nope.
Do you know about what time it was here?
Nope.
Did you happen to say anything to the man?
Nope.
Well, do you know in which direction it went from here?
Yep.
Huh?
They turned around and headed back for Buffalo.
Which is exactly what we did, back to Buffalo, where we began to look with the help of the police for a big yellow truck with no lettering on it. We tried garages, trucking concerns, and any place big enough to hide such a truck. It wasn't an easy job, but it turned up. Hello?
Hello, Dollar. Got a yellow truck all loaded down with stolen freight.
What?
Yeah. Meet you over at the West End Viaduct. Highway Patrol just found it.
Good.
Only one thing. It's wrecked.
The passing motorist had a flat tire right here. He got out of his car to fix the flat and saw here where it tumbled down.
Good tumble. Must be 30 feet anyhow.
Yeah, they're trying to get the driver out of the cab now. He may still be alive. They're using acetylene torches.
10 minutes later, the ambulance crew dragged the driver out of the twisted cab. The interns worked on him for a short time, and one of them straightened up, handed me a billfold.
Well, here you are. His name's Blakey.
Blakey. Rick's Blakey.
Mm-hmm, for the moment. He won't live another 5 minutes, fractured skull, neck broken. If you've got any questions to ask, you better hurry.
Thank you. Blakey. Blakey, listen to me. Listen, you haven't got long. We know this is all stolen cargo in your truck. And we want to know who worked with you.
Jake. Get Jake.
Jake? Jake who?
Jake. Jake slugged me. Put it in gear and rolled me over the side of the road. Get him, Mr. Cop. Get him for doing this to me.
I stayed around the wrecked truck watching Eve Grimm's crew stacking the cargo, and then I saw something that could have fallen out of Blakey's wallet when the intern handed it to me. It was a card. On one side was printed Horseshoe Bar and Grill, and there was an address underneath it. But on the other side was written, Jake, 8 o'clock Tuesday. He's always there. The Horseshoe Bar and Grill was short on lights and even shorter on drinks. After a couple, I signaled the bartender.
Yeah? Another one?
Uh-huh.
Sure. Same trouble, pal?
I'm here to see Jake.
Here's your drink.
He been in here tonight?
That'll be 50 cents.
Jake hangs around here, doesn't he?
Look, the minute you walk in, I look at your feet and I say to myself, flatty, gumboots, glim-heeled cop. Not City Hall type cop, but something else, I say. Something different that still spells law.
I was asking about a guy named Jake.
Something else, I say. Maybe private people. Then I say, if he's working, he's got himself a bib. And a bib means it don't come out of his pocket when he's around looking for somebody and asking for guys.
Will this help?
Oh, thanks. Old Abe took a great picture. What was you asking?
About a guy named Jake.
Sit tight, Shamus. I'll tip you when he comes in.
An hour went by, and about the time I was wondering if I was going to be able to write that $5 off on the expense account, the bartender slipped out from behind the bar and went through a door in the back marked private. I finished my drink and strolled after him. He was just hanging up the phone as I walked in. Oh, there's a lot of customers waiting to be served out front.
Yeah, I want to get right back to...
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Haven't we got some unfinished business?
Well, yes and no. I come back here to slip myself a quick smoke, and the phone is ringing. You'll never guess who it is. Jake.
What's his last name?
How do I know? Across the bar, a guy's just Jake or Sam around. Anyhow, Jake says he ain't coming by tonight.
He called you up to tell you that?
No. You see, Jake says he lost his glasses when he was here last night. He was calling to ask if I found them.
Did you?
No. But Jake says that if I do find them, I can send them over to the Embassy Hotel. That's where he is. Room 210.
Embassy Hotel. Where's that from here?
2 blocks north.
Thanks.
Sure. Sure, anytime. Anytime you got an expense account.
I walked over to the Embassy Hotel, and naturally enough, there was no one in room 210 named Jake. As a matter of fact, there was no room 210. But when I stepped outside and started back for the Horseshoe Bar and Grill, a pair of wide shoulders and a coat collar fell in step beside me. He shoved something against my back.
Let you and me kind of turn in here. I'd blast you right here, and you know it. In the alley. I want you should meet a friend of mine.
Jake?
How'd you guess? Okay, hold it. Here he is, Jake.
A tall, thick figure with an odor of fine cologne around it stepped from the shadows. His hat was down and his collar was up. He stood very close in front of me and asked,
"Why do you want me? Who are you?"
"I'll ask you first.
All right. Frisk him, Trench. See who he is."
Everything became very quiet then, except for one voice that belonged to a man who had died earlier that day. I kept hearing it.
Get him. Get him for doing this to me.
In just a moment, we'll return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. But first, this Wednesday night and every Wednesday night over most of these same CBS stations, you're invited to hear The Bing Crosby Show. Bing Crosby with the music of John Scott Trotter, the Rhythmaires, Ken Carpenter, and of course, a top name star each week is his special guest. Here's the show designed for the whole family. A pleasant and diverting mixture of music and merriment, guided by the one and only Bing Crosby. Plan now to make Wednesday night Crosby night on your listening schedule. That's the Bing Crosby Show every Wednesday night on CBS. And now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
I was lying in a dirty alley with my face up against a cold brick wall, and something warm was dripping down the back of my neck. I didn't move. I couldn't. There was a steady ringing in my head, and my body seemed far away. I struggled to my feet and headed for the man who had led me into this.
What do you want?
Hey, what's this all about? Let go of me!
Look, I've been beaten and slugged and frisked, all because I talked to the wrong guy. I looked for you in the bar. They told me you went home. Now spit it out.
Spit what out?
Does that remind you of anything? You tipped Jake off that I was looking for him. Why?
Let go of me. I can't talk like this.
If you can breathe, you can talk. Come on.
Look, Jake's a steady customer of mine. I gotta treat him right. I never seen you before in my life.
What's Jake's full name? What does he do? And where can I find him?
I don't know.
You don't know what?
Anything about him. Except that he's a big black-haired guy who dresses like a bookie, Flash. He just comes in with some guys and drinks. His name is Jake Samuels. He has a sidekick named Trench. I don't even know his last name.
What does Jake do?
I don't know. He don't say nothing personal to me.
Well, what do you think he does?
Maybe he plays the horse's books. How do I know?
And you don't know where he lives?
Mister, if he owed me a $100 bar bill, I couldn't find his house.
It was late and my head hurt, and I wanted to lie down somewhere. So I made for the Imperial Hotel Eve Grimes had recommended. I took a shower and polished off the drinks they sent up. Then I felt well enough to call Grimes again. But before I lifted the phone, he walked into my room with some interesting information.
Sorry you got beat up, Johnny.
It's all right. I'm covered with accident insurance, you know.
I wish I could help you with this Jake Samuels fella, but I never heard of him.
Thanks anyway, Eve, but I'll run him down sooner or later.
I do have something that might help, Johnny.
Yeah?
We checked all that cargo that was found in the wrecked truck, and I don't know exactly what it means, but everything was there except one barrel.
What was that?
A barrel. And listen to this. Of all things, a barrel of jeweler's rouge.
The stuff they use for gem polishing?
That's what an intelligent friend of mine told me. It was insured at, I got it right here, $247. Now, why would anybody want that?
Well, who sent it?
A jeweler by the name of Ralph Morton. Morton Jewelry Company, 1312 Shenandoah Street. Sent to Michael Adelson, Adelson, 177 Carling Terrace, Boston, Mass.
Adelson, huh?
Yeah, Adelson or Adelson. Know him, Johnny?
Not sure. Something rings a bell. Well, thanks a lot, Grimms. I'll have a talk with that jeweler, Ralph Morton, in the morning. In the morning, I rented a small car and started for the Morton Jewelry Company on Shenandoah Street. I found it in the middle of the block, a small, hungry-looking neighborhood jewelry store. But the most interesting thing about it was standing in a doorway across the street from it. A middle-aged man. He was a plant, if ever I saw one. I ignored him and entered the store. There was a small man with thinning brown hair bent over the insides of a watch, and a snappy-looking blonde job dusting counters about 4 paces away. I spoke to the watchmaker. He took out his eye lens and looked up.
Yes?
2 days ago, you shipped some jeweler's rouge to Michael Adelson in Boston.
Yes, I did. What about it?
Well, it was hijacked out of the freight car yesterday.
Oh. Clumsy this morning. Hijacked, you say?
Stolen. Somebody wanted it pretty bad. They passed up a lot of other stuff more valuable.
Well, who are you?
Johnny Dollar, insurance investigator with the Shippers Indemnity Company.
Oh, it was insured, of course.
Well, you should know. For $247.
I'm sorry it was stolen. I presume your company will have to pay for it.
Well, we don't mind paying if we know what we're paying for.
What do you mean by that?
Why would anybody want to steal rouge?
I'm sure I don't know.
Whoever did it went to a lot of expense and trouble, and they murdered a man for good measure.
Andrea! Why must you always be knocking things down?
I'm sorry, Mr. Morton. My hand slipped.
Well, be more careful. You say they killed a man, Mr. Dollar? Surely they did not do this over my little shipment of jeweler's rouge.
It sounds stupid, I know, but it was done. Why did you send rouge all the way to Boston to Michael Adelson when you could buy the same stuff there?
Oh, no, you're wrong. This is a private formula I developed myself. I sell it to a number of widely scattered people. They seem to prefer my mixture.
Uh-huh. Who is Michael Adelson?
A designer of expensive jewelry. His reputation in the field is first class.
Well, Mr. Morton, that's all. That's all for today. But I'll be back. All the time I was in there, the blonde Miss Phillips kept her blue eyes and her pink ears focused on me. My common sense spoke to my vanity and told it to play dead. She was interested in more than my profile. Outside, I spotted the plant across the street. I thought he was growing in the doorway until I approached him. He ducked clumsily and walked away with such obvious nonchalance that I was tempted to follow him, and I did, to a corner drugstore with a good view of the Morton Jewelry Company. We shared adjoining stools while he cut into a butterscotch sundae.
Hey, a little more butterscotch on this, please.
You got the 20-cent special. What do you want for 20 cents?
Butterscotch?
Okay. Okay, I don't pay for it anyway.
What's the job?
What's the... Huh? Oh, it's you. Well, beat it.
Here. We're both in the same racket.
Oh, insurance? Are you working on the Arcadia job, too?
No. What's the Arcadia job?
What are you working on?
A railroad hijack. What's the Arcadia job?
Oh, Ben Sanchez is my name. How do you do, Dollar?
How do you do?
Yeah, I'm working independent. I don't take divorce cases. In 2 months, I haven't had a decent job. But I got myself a little old idea. You see, 3 months ago, a wholesale jewelry house was pried open, see? And $250,000 worth of uncut stuff disappeared. And so far, none of it has showed up anywhere. And somebody will pay a lot of money if it's found. Especially an outfit called the Erie Mutual Fidelity.
What's Morton's age on it?
Well, I could be wrong, but I seen that guy operate for a number of years.
Here's the butterscotch.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. A little jewelry store stuck off in a forgotten part of the city, you know, buys watches for $10 and sells them for $12.
Well, lots of guys do that.
Yeah, but they don't own a little old $85,000 house in the Longacre section with 2 new cars in the garage.
And you think Morton has the Arcadia jewels?
I think he's been a fence for a long time. There hasn't been nothing good to fence since the Arcadia job.
He has a record?
He has. Say, what'd they steal of his from a railroad car?
Just some jeweler's rouge, that's all.
Oh? Gee, maybe I'm wasting my time.
Well, I hope you... Pardon me. A blonde came out of the jewelry store with a coat and hat on and climbed in an automobile parked down the street. I made for my You Drive It model and followed her. At 8 cents a mile, I was out about $1.25 before she shut off a key and coasted into a curb. I went past her, around the block, parked the car, and sauntered back to the house she had entered. It was just a house, nothing special, a few more bricks, maybe, flagstones instead of cement for a walk. That was all. I stood looking straight at the house when it turned out I should have been looking straight behind me.
Why don't you kind of put your hands behind your neck? That's it. You won't need this heater.
Seems to me I've heard that voice before, and it was just as unpleasant.
Now, why don't you kind of walk into the house?
I would have been amused to know that I kind of wanted... Sorry. He would have been amused to know that I kind of wanted to get into that house as much as he kind of wanted me to. We went up the walk, arm in arm. He opened the door and graciously allowed me to enter first. The living room was empty, but I could hear voices plainly in the next room.
That stuff was worth more than you've ever seen before.
Oh, shut up.
I took a long time looking for 2 guys. But what a lousy couple of chiselers I got stuck with.
Hey, it's me, Trench.
There's
I got
nobody
a
you can
visitor.
trust in this world.
Hey, it's me.
We stood there, Trench beaming and me frowning, and they came into the room. The guy was big, black-haired, and overdressed, the way the bartender had tagged him. It was Jake Samuels, all right, and hanging on his elbow, giving him a hot ear, was the jeweler's dame. Samuels wasn't in too good a frame of mind.
I'll blast it all over town. And you won't be able to touch me, because I got protection.
Now, will you shut up? I got to talk with a friend.
Johnny Dollar, Jake.
Yes. Welcome to my house. Just the same, it's too bad you had to come. This isn't exactly the day we're receiving.
Well, I work weekends, and this is the only time I could make it.
Jake will do the talking.
What is it you want to see me about?
Last night and the night before.
Oh, you mean when we roughed you up?
That and the Atlantic Central job and Rix Blakey, whom you killed at the wheel of his truck. Then there's the little matter of your blonde girlfriend here. I saw her in Morton's jewelry shop. She couldn't possibly be the phony reporter who was hanging around the railroad yards. Or, could she?
Jake, this guy really knows...
Shut up.
Is that all you can say?
Yeah, is that all you can say? Shut up? Well, listen here.
Shut up.
I won't. You owe me $45,000.
What are you talking in front of him for?
What do I care about him? That's your worry. $5,000 for $300,000 worth of jewelry.
Go on now, get out of here. Take what you got and consider it lucky. We took all the risk, now beat it.
All right, I'll beat it. When I come back, you're going to wish you were dead, Jake Samuels.
Go on, you cheap...
When she reached the door, she pulled a gun from somewhere, spun, and Trench got both slugs. He dropped groaning to the floor, and I kicked his gun into a corner. Jake Samuels stood frozen to the rug, looking at the barrel of the automatic she held.
The next one's going to be for you, Jake.
You going crazy or something? Put down that gun.
Go on. Say shut up to me now. Go on, say it. You yellow two-bit woman beater.
Andrea, you're making a big mistake.
Now, am I going to get my $45,000 or not?
But I don't have that much in the house.
Well, then call somebody and get it. Or come up with some jewelry.
Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I promise.
Not tomorrow, today, now.
Miss Phillips.
I'm talking to him. Now, don't you get any ideas?
Look, there's only one way for you to get out of this, and that's to kill everybody in this room. If you leave me alive, I'll track you down. That's what I get paid for. If you...
Can the lecture. I know what I'm doing.
If you leave Trench or Jake alive, they'll get you, too.
You bet we will.
Oh, I'm so scared. Come on, Jake. The money.
Right now, you've only got a petty crime against you. Do any more, and it'll be murder. You'll last a month, if that long.
What are you getting at?
Give me these two guys.
Are you kidding?
Turn them over to me, and I'll go the limit in helping you. I'll forget the $5,000 you got from them. The most you can get is a year in the county. $5,000 clear is good dough.
What happens to them?
They're wanted for murder. I'll say in my report, you turn them over to me. Maybe you won't get anything.
Are you level?
Of course he isn't, Andrea.
I'm as level as a guy can get. Come on. Give me the gun, Miss Phillips.
I don't know.
It's that or a murder rap. Come on.
Stay away from me.
It's freedom or murder. Which one do you want? Give me the gun.
Here. Here, take it. I didn't want to do this anyway from the start. This isn't living. This is dying every day.
You're lucky. You found it out in time, Miss Phillips.
You know, except for the guy in the gas station, nobody ever called me Miss Phillips.
And that Polden is the way it all wound up. I called the police, and they took things in hand. The jewels, of course, were buried in the barrel of the Jeweler's Rouge, and Miss Phillips, knowing that Morton was unloading them in Boston, sold the information to Jake and Friend for $50,000, which she didn't get. The Arcadia Wholesale Company jewels were in the stuff the police picked up. Oh, by the way, you'll notice one item on the expense account, $4.85. That was a gift. A foam rubber seat for Eve Grimm's surplus Jeep. Total expenses, $312. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and was written by E. Jack Newman and John Michael Hayes, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can currently be seen starring in the Harry M. Popkin United Artists production, D.O.A. Featured in our cast were Ted DeCorsia, Pat McGeehan, Harold Durenforth, John Daner, Bill Boucher, Gene Bates, and Clayton Post. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us again next week at this same time when, from Hollywood, Edmund O'Brien returns in another transcribed adventure of...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
This is a horse on me. But I did find out that in a race for life and death, the police laboratory is where they make the photo finish.
This is another in the adventures of America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At insurance investigation, Johnny Dollar is only an expert. At making out his expense account, he is an absolute genius.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Hartford Branch, Lloyd's Underwriters Association. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during investigation of the circumstances threatening the life of the insured, the racehorse pile driver, or He'd have been way off his feet if I didn't know my oats. Or it's great to get a kick out of life so long as it isn't a kick in the head. Expense account item 1. 18 cents, 1 package of cigarettes. You may consider this a personal item, but that's where this case really started. At the cigar stand, ground floor, terminal office building, here in Hartford. I'd come down in one of the elevators and noticed a little guy with a cane standing with a starter. After I passed them, I felt myself being pointed out. And not being the type who likes being followed for long periods of time, I gave myself a good reason to stop and look things over.
Hello, Mr. Dollar.
Hiya, Mac. Give me a pack of Luckies, will you?
I just sold you a pack when you came in.
I know. But things may really start smoking any minute. Here.
Good morning to you, sir. I've been led to believe that you were one Mr. John Dollar. Would that be a fact?
Yeah. I'm Dollar. What can I do for you?
Well, I am quite a famous fellow myself. Perhaps you've heard of the fabulous jockey Earl Sand?
Yeah, but...
Well, next to him, I was among the best. May I introduce myself? I'm the famous little Nettie Montana, sometimes called the short Johnny Longden. Shake hands.
Oh, how do you do?
Now, to business. I think I have a way for you to solve my problem and make yourself an honest buck besides.
Oh, now, whoa, pony boy. You're wasting your time. I don't bet the horses, and when I do, I don't buy tips from touts.
Oh, now, wait a minute, pal. I did not introduce myself for the purpose of being insulted. I will have you know that I, too, do not consort with touts. I will thank you to keep a civil tongue in your head.
Oh, I can see this is going to be one of those days. What is your problem, mister?
Well, it is a problem best not overheard by people in the lobbies of office buildings. But this much I can tell you. It is about a horse and $50,000 insurance. That is why I came to you.
Well, I'd be richer if I'd known more about horses, and poorer if I'd known less about insurance. Maybe in this thing I can break even at least. Come on. I hope you are not too much of a purist to ride in a taxi. Little Nettie looked like he'd stopped growing physically at the age of 14. And every once in a while he talked like his mind had also called it quits at about the same time. The only thing slick about him was his hair. The only thing sharp, his clothes. Liars always talk too much, and little Nettie wouldn't say a word until we were inside my apartment. So even before he started his pitch, I half believed it.
Well, to take it from the beginning, I was born in a stable, and that's not just a figure of speech. They brought the hot water in a feed bucket, so you can understand my deep affection for horses.
Yeah.
Now, on top of that, kindly consider this. One horse in particular, a very brave steed by the name of Pile Driver, has not only made me very famous, but has also made me a very large pile of hay. I have ridden Pile Driver to a win position since he was a maiden.
Pile Driver, huh? Quite a hunk of horse.
You remember?
Yeah.
Then you might also remember that he was on his way to becoming one of the big money winners of all time. Until I had to go and fall off a livery stable horse while teaching a girl how to ride in Central Park. It busted up my leg, and I might add, my future. To say nothing of Pile Drivers. He hasn't won a race since I got grounded.
Yeah, well, what's all this got to do with insurance?
Mr. Dollar, they are going to murder him.
Oh?
Can you guess why?
I can try. Pile Driver is heavily insured. He's also no longer winning races.
He's also a man who can't have a family. No good for studs.
So if Pile Driver should trip and break a leg, the owner would be entitled to shoot him, and he'd still collect the insurance. I know, it's been done.
You have hit the horseshoe nail on the head. Mr. Dollar, I have a considerable bundle of money stashed away, and I am willing to devote a considerable lump of it to the purpose of saving Pile Driver. Now, maybe you wouldn't understand such a thing, but I happen to love that horse.
I understand it, Nettie. Where is he?
Well, he is currently stabled at a track named Hiawatha.
Oh, by the shores of Gitche Gumee?
No, by the shores of Lake Michigan. This is located slightly north of a place called Chicago.
5 telephone calls and a few hundred questions later, I learned that Pile Driver was insured by your company. Got the assignment and was on my way. So, expense account item 2, airfare, Hartford to Chicago, $57.72. Little Nettie insisted on coming along, and he kept the hum of the plane from being humdrum as follows.
Well, Johnny, the gentleman who owns Pile Driver is an old Kentucky mint julep sponge named Colonel Faraday Bushnell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this character has a very black heart hiding beneath a head of white hair.
That's it.
I trusted him until I heard him say what he was going to do. From then on, I have been seriously tempted to wrap these hands around his neck and squeeze. All I can say is he had better not hurt Pile Driver.
Expense account item 3, $16.40. Cab fare, Chicago Municipal Airport to Hiawatha Racetrack. Arrival time, 10 a.m. To me, a racetrack always smells good, of horses, green grass, and excitement. Here you are, driver. Keep the change.
Well, this, as the saying goes, is it, Mr. Dollar. You'll have to take it from here.
Okay.
Oh, hey, one last word of warning. Watch out for his daughter, Lila.
Oh, why? Is she dangerous?
To a guy like me? No. But to a guy like you, yes.
Pardon me, miss. Can you tell me where I'll find the boss around here, Colonel Bushnell?
Oh. I was just going to chase you away. But you don't look like just another hay and grain merchant. What you selling?
I'm not. I'm buying. Where's your daddy?
How do you know the colonel is my daddy?
Well, they told me he had a pretty daughter.
Oh, well, thanks. Just who are you, mister?
Well, as for the name, that's Johnny Dollar. As for my business, that's trying to buy one of your father's horses.
Well, the colonel won't be back for a little bit, but I'm bossing while he's away. I'll tell you now, I don't think he's figuring on selling any of his horses. But I'll be glad to show them to you.
Good enough. But there's only one I'm really interested in. Pile Driver.
Pile Driver? Why, no, Daddy wouldn't sell him.
Why not?
Why, he's practically one of the family. He put me through the last 2 years of college.
Do you mind if I see him anyway?
Why, no, not at all. Right over here.
Okay.
Here, baby. You have company, darling. Meet Mr. Dollar.
Hello. That's quite a horse.
No, he's just a perfect dear, aren't you, darling? Mr. Dollar, why do you want to buy Pile Driver?
Oh, he's a great horse. Got a great record.
Have you been following him lately?
Yeah. Oh, I know he hasn't been winning. That ought to make his price cheap and the odds long when he gets back running. I just happen to think I can make a winner out of him again.
But his spirit's all gone. How do you think you're going to do that?
Well, if I told you, his price might go right back up.
Johnny, darling, I can't help it, darling.
Hey,
Kiss
wait a
me.
minute. Let go. Wait a minute.
Please, darling, please.
Well, that was great fun. But what was it for?
Johnny, you shouldn't have. Right out here in the open. Oh, Leo.
Yeah. What's going on?
Now, wait, Leo, honey.
This guy ain't your brother. He'll wish he was. Besides, that's no way to kiss brothers. You, get out of here.
Look, Buster, if you aren't this girl's father, you'd better start doing some wishing.
Oh, you think so, huh?
This is the roughest game of post office I ever got mixed up in.
Like that, please.
Johnny! Johnny, what are you doing to him?
Hammerheads like this, hammerlocks. Let him get tough now and I'll bust his arm.
Gentlemen, what's going on here? You spectators there, run along now about your business. Leo, I must say I am surprised at you. Fighting in front of a lady.
Oh, Daddy.
Get him off of me.
Here, young man, I demand that you dismount, Mr. Corbett.
Well, sooner or later, I guess I'll have to. Now, listen, Leo, are you paying close attention?
Yeah.
After I let you up, if you make one move except away from here, I'll give you a pair of fat ears, okay? Oh, look at the suit. I'm going to have to start wearing knee pads.
Come on, Leo, honey. Let's get away from here. I hope you're not blaming me for what happened.
I don't know
was
who to
just standing here.
Now, see here. I demand an explanation.
So do I. I came here to get to the horse business, and I end up in the fight racket. Who is that guy?
That gentleman, sir, is Leo Corbett, a brother horse owner. And I might do the favor of warning you that Mr. Corbett is a hard enough man in business dealings. But when it comes to my daughter, he's downright violent.
Your daughter was downright impulsive.
Maybe so. But Leo is hardly the type to stand by while some other fellow kisses his girl. And I saw that happen with my own eyes.
Well, don't let it worry you, Colonel. I didn't come here to collect lipstick samples. Well, there's one thing I can be glad about in my encounter with Mr. Leo Corbett.
What is that?
That he isn't James J. Come on, Colonel. Let's talk business. Hey, bartender.
Hey, Mr. Dollar, over here.
Oh, never mind. There's my man over there. How are you, Nenny?
Oh, I'm fine. Hey, but you, where did you catch that mouse under your eye?
Oh, I'm sharp as a trap, I am. You were so right about Miss Bushnell. She's not only dangerous, she's daffy.
Huh? I didn't know she could hit that hard.
Oh, she didn't. Let's just say that she has a novel way of introducing people to her boyfriend.
Oh.
You know him? Leo Corbett?
Well, if I knew any more, I'd be the Racing Commission's witness. He owns a string of very fast horses who run very slow until the odds get right. Then he bets them up to the brisket, wins himself a potful. It's also rumored that he is stiff competition to the Perry Mutual machines. He books big bets among the owners.
Well, they'll catch up to him sooner or later. They always do.
Amen. But about that human glue factory, my friend, the horse-killing colonel. What's with him?
Well, I offered him $60,000 for pile driver.
Huh?
That's $10,000 more than he'd get if he knocked him off and collected the insurance.
Yeah, where are you going to lay your mitts on 60 G's? I haven't got that kind of dough.
We don't need that kind of dough, little Nettie. You see, I told Bushnell that I was sending to California for my private vet, and that he'd be here in 3 days. And that once he pronounced the horse sound, I'd give him the money.
Yeah, but that only means that pile driver is safe for another 3 days. And then what?
And those 3 days, it's up to me to prove intent. And if it's there, I'll prove it. And have the policy canceled. Once that's done, he'll probably be willing to peddle the horse for $10,000.
That I can handle. But in the meantime, I'm not taking any chances, see? I'm keeping pile driver under my own personal eye.
I wish you wouldn't, Eddie. We don't want the colonel getting suspicious.
I can't help it, Mr. Dollar. I just can't help it.
Okay, Nettie, but don't blow it. Be careful. Like all racetracks, Hiawatha was surrounded by motor courts and bungalows with rooms for rent. So, expense account item 4, $3. Room rent. I set the tin alarm clock for 8 and my ear for any time and went most of the way to sleep. First things being first, I dreamed of girls. Then I dreamed of fire engines. Then suddenly I realized why. I was hearing something. I bounced out of bed and over to the window. There I saw an incendiary sunset hanging over the racetrack stables. I jumped into my pants and into the landlady's car and got over there as fast as a 1929 Ford could take me. Hey, you. What? How'd it start?
It started between those tables. I don't know how, but the guards were looking for a little guy with a limp who was hanging around.
Oh, where'd he go?
I didn't see him, but I hear he ran in the fire and didn't come out. Some crank, I guess.
I had one particular horse to get to in a hurry, and I hoped one particular guy. The door to pile driver's stall was closed and padlocked. I crowbarred the stable out of the wood with the pick end of a fire axe. Threw the door open, grabbed a lungful of fresh air, closed my eyes, and slammed into the smoke. I could have been smoked to death, burned to death, or stamped to death, but I had to take the chance. Steady, yo. Whoa, pile driver. Now, take it easy. Easy, boy. I whacked him on the rump with the axe handle, then dropped it. I slipped to my knees, started groping across the straw-covered floor. I knew that if there was any air in there, that's where it would be. And if there was an ex-jockey in there, that's where he would be. And that's where he was. In the first corner I tried. I crawfished backwards toward the door, dragging him, inch by inch, out into the clean, cold shower of fresh night air. But I could have saved myself the trip. Little Nettie Montana was dead. He'd had a horseshoe hung on his forehead, but not for luck. And all I could think of at the moment was, a jockey's best friend is not always his horse.
In just a moment, we will return to the second act of Johnny Dollar. But first, may we take just a moment from tonight's Johnny Dollar story to remind you that 3 more fine adventure shows come your way each Saturday night on most of these same CBS stations. First, there are The Adventures of Philip Marlowe, based on the smart and tough Private Eye created by Raymond Chandler. Second, there's Gangbusters, one of the most famous crime shows on the air, reenacting outstanding police cases in real life. Third, there is Escape, a highly unusual adventure show which fulfills your need for escape. Hear these 3, Philip Marlowe, Gangbusters, and Escape, along with yours truly, Johnny Dollar, every Saturday night, won't you?
Tune in this fall for the shows that you love best of all.
Listen carefully.
Here's the address. It's CBS.
Now, with our star, Charles Russell, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Tough luck. Nice try, little Nettie.
Mr. Dollar, this is horrible. Why, it's little Nettie.
It sure is. What's left of little Nettie?
You don't...
Yeah, I mean, he's dead. You know, when I was a kid, I knew about a story with a horse and a woman in it. Helen of Troy. I should have remembered that before I tangled with you. Why don't you get lost?
Why, whatever's the matter with you?
Look, Miss Bushnell, 2 minutes after I met you, you bagged me into a fist fight with your boyfriend with a phony kiss. I don't know how much you had to do with putting little Nettie where he is, but I intend to find out.
Why, you're insane. Any fool, even you, Mr. Dollar, can plainly see that this boy's been kicked in the head by a horse.
Lila, child, what are you doing here?
Why, I saw the...
Why? Who's that on the ground? Why? It's little Nettie. Don't tell me he's dead.
What would you be if you got kicked in the head by a horse, Colonel?
Why, the poor boy. I held this lad in deep affection until just a few months back. He was my best jockey. What on earth was he doing around here at this time of night?
From all I can see, little Nettie swapped his life for pile drivers. As small as he was, it's a pretty big price to pay. Although I guess you wouldn't think so, would you?
What? What's that? I demand an explanation of precisely what you mean, sir.
I mean that to some people, a dead horse is more valuable than a live one. Too bad you can't go count your money. I gotta take my friend to the morgue. An hour later, little Nettie was resting better than I was. I'd made my report to the police and was back pacing the floor of my rented room. There wasn't a long walk. Yeah?
This is Lila Bushnell. I gotta see you right away.
Why don't you start another fire? That'll draw me.
I didn't have anything to do with that fire, but I must talk to you right away. Where can I meet you?
Have you got a car?
Yes, I'll come any place.
Now, pick me up here in 20 minutes. Come alone, and we'll take a little drive to the country. I want it to be just the 3 of us. You and me and the dewdrops. Dawn was making a dark gray promise in the sky when she picked me up, and a few easy-to-please birds had found something to sing about. During the first 5 miles, Lila denied everything except that she was a woman, and there was no hiding that. I had her pull in under a tree and said, "Well, then why'd you call me?"
It was something you said to my father about a horse being more valuable dead than alive.
You sold me out once. What are you planning on now? Selling out your old man? You women. You know, if the truth is ever told, it'll probably come out that Goldilocks cut her grandmother's throat to swipe the gold out of her teeth.
Please don't make fun of me.
Fun, she calls it. Well, if you got something to spill, get it off your chest.
My father owes Leo Corbett $50,000. He lost it betting on Pile Driver. Leo's been demanding his money, and Father doesn't have it. And I heard Leo practically order Father to destroy Pile Driver for the insurance.
And what did Daddy dear say to that?
He said he'd do it. But I know he wouldn't. I know he didn't set that fire.
How do you know?
I just know, that's all.
Now, that'll sound good to a jury. Why are you coming to me with all this stuff?
Because you're our only hope. Can't you buy Pile Driver right away? It would solve everything.
Everything but one thing.
What's that?
Why did you go to all that trouble to get me punched in the eye?
Oh, that?
Yeah.
I just wanted to show Leo that he wasn't going to have everything his own way. And you look strong enough to do it.
Wow. That's a stupid answer. Why not? Makes a stupid kind of sense. She dropped me off at my rooming house where I dropped off to sleep. It was, however, only a 4-hour plunge. Expense account item 5, $650. Cab fare to headquarters, Homicide Division, Chicago Police. That's one city where the cops still wear an old-fashioned star, but they sure do operate with a new-fashioned speed. As witness the enclosed report made by Lieutenant Craig 6 hours after filing of inquiry.
According to the findings of the autopsy, Dollar, your hunch, or whatever you call it, was right. The deceased, little Nettie, was not kicked to death by a horse. Examination of the wound reveals that it was administered by a new horseshoe. A shoe on a horse's hoof would have left traces of straw, etc. We say that the fatal weapon was swung by person or persons unknown. As you suggested, he'd have to have been standing on his head to have the horseshoe make the mark it did if the horse had kicked him.
The lieutenant had made only one mistake. He should have said person or persons known. Expense account item 6, 10 cents, 2 telephone calls. The idea I was working in, I'll give you for nothing. Expense account item 7, $650. Cab fare to Administration Building, Hiawatha Racetrack, where the afternoon's program was in progress, and where I got the wholehearted cooperation of the track officials and the use of a vacant office in which to hold the meeting I had set up. I sat myself in a swivel chair and waited. Come in.
Mr. Dollar, I can't tell you how happy I am that our little transaction is about to be consummated. If you have the money with you, sir, pile driver is yours.
Now, wait a minute, Colonel. Let's not go consummating too quickly.
But, my boy, you indicated over the telephone.
I indicated over the phone just this. I said my offer was as good as it ever was. And to tell you the truth, it's not very good.
Now, see here. Who's that?
Sit down, Colonel. Come in.
Why, Leo, what are you doing up here?
Anytime anybody shows up to hand over $60,000 to you for pile driver, I'm going to be here. That's exactly what this smart guy called me up to tell me he's about to do.
Now, gentlemen, let's take it easy. Before I do anything, I want to make sure I'm not doing business with a murderer.
Sir, I demand an explanation.
What about you, Leo?
Yeah, so do I.
Well, here it is. The Chicago police know 2 things. 1, that last night's fire was set, and 2, that little Nettie was murdered, and that little Nettie got a couple of lungfuls of smoke before he got hit over the head with a horseshoe. That means that whoever hit him over the head sucked in some smoke, too.
Well, I've never heard such a pack of nonsense in my life.
What are you getting at, wise guy?
Just what I told you. I don't want to do business with a murderer, especially $60,000 worth. But I've made it easy on you to prove that you aren't. You see, I got a doctor in the next room with portable X-ray equipment. If you've got fire smoke in your lungs, it'll show up. Now, how about it?
Why, this is ridiculous.
Why don't you leave the Dick Tracy stuff to the funny papers?
Because I don't feel like laughing. Now, once more, how about it?
That's it. I still don't know what this tomfoolery is about, and I'll feel downright silly while I'm doing it, but I'm willing to take my chances.
Okay. Leo, you're first. Follow me. Turning your back on a murderer is no way to stay healthy, but very often it's a good way to get him to make his move. This one did, right out the door, knocking me down en route, and the chase was on. Out of the building and out toward the grandstand and the racing circle.
And there they go. On the outside, Dreamy Boy by a neck. It's Brockbuster by a wing and Williger by a head. And at the corner, it's Dreamy Boy.
It may have been Dreamy Boy at the quarter, and on the track, well, it was my quarry by 50 lengths as he headed up an aisle into the grandstand. Dreamy Boy was still doing fine down there, and I was moving up here, but up near the top of the grandstand and onto the ramp leading to the press box section.
And at the three-quarter, it's still Dreamy Boy by 3 lengths and Williger by 1 1/2. And here comes Lower Flat making his move on the inside and Brockbuster.
Just as Dreamy Boy hit the three-quarter, we hit the grandstand roof, and then we went into the stretch. Hey, Corbett, it's hopeless. You can't get much farther. You're running out of roof. I slid behind a ventilator and showed myself to draw his shots. He was lousy. If he hadn't been... dictating this with an air-conditioned elbow. Okay, Corbett, you've had it. I've been counting your shots. Corbett tried a few ventilators himself, and then apparently he decided the second time he fought me, he'd do better. He rushed in swinging. I was doing great trading punches, but he finally moved inside and threw one. I ducked low, but he came up fast with his knee. I sat down, and he took off, straight to the back corner edge of the pitched roof. He swung over the side and started to shinny down the 100-foot rain pipe. But that pipe was built to carry rain, not people. At the finish line of one tiny segment of the human race, it was gambler, arsonist, murderer, Leo Corbett, by a head. Expense account item 8. Dinner for 2 at the Shangri-La in downtown Chicago. $34.40. Dinner itself only took 40 minutes, and 8 of the dollars. The rest of the evening and the money was spent listening to the story of her life. A story which would not, by any means, win any Pulitzer Prize, or, for that matter, any husbands. But sometimes when you're interested in a girl like Lila, you have to act like you're interested in what she's saying. Expense account item 9, $57.72. Airfare, Chicago to Hartford. Item 10, $1.50. One book to read on airplane, titled How to Win at the Races. As if I just hadn't found out. Expense account total, $1,449.22. I guess you could call that horse sense. Signed, yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Gordon T. Hughes and stars Charles Russell. Script by Paul Dudley and Gil Dowd. Featured in the cast were Bill Conrad, Doris Singleton, Jerry Hausner, Herb Butterfield, and Hal March. The special music is written and conducted by Wilbur Hatch. Be sure to be with us at this same time next week when another unusual expense account is handed in by
yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Those mystery adventure shows we mentioned earlier, the fun and music and fabulous jackpot of Sing It Again, and 2 outstanding music shows. They're on tap for you every Saturday on most of these same CBS stations. Gene Autry comes along with his Sagebrush Ballads, and Vaughn Monroe is due with his songs and his great orchestra. In fact, you're invited to stay tuned right now for The Vaughn Monroe Show, for it follows immediately over most of these stations. Paul Masterson speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Time now for Edmund O'Brien as
yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Edmund O'Brien, starring in another adventure of America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator, Johnny Dollar. At insurance investigation, Johnny Dollar is only an expert. At making out his expense account, he's an absolute genius.
Expense account, submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Great Columbian Life Insurance Company. The following is an accounting of my expenditures during the investigation of the circumstances surrounding the murder of your policyholder, Loyal B. Martin, or how to take a vacation in Fairfield County. Expense account item 1. $3.20 mileage from Hartford, Connecticut to the country estate of the deceased.
I drove up a long cement driveway towards a mausoleum-type manor house. There were rolling green lawns liberally sprinkled with statuary, and the thought occurred to me that if he had spent much of his life here, the late Mr. Martin was most fortunate. He'd feel right at home in a cemetery.
Yes?
My name is Dollar. I'm here to see Mrs. Martin.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Martin.
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. The widow has gone shopping the day after the death of her husband. Something attractive in mourning clothes, I'm sure.
Well, what time is she expected back?
I have no idea. But it shouldn't be long.
Do you mind if I come in and wait?
You'll forgive my asking, young man, but just what is your business here at Loyal Haven?
I was sent here by the insurance company.
Oh, why, yes. Well, then do come in. Here, right in here. I'm Mrs. Tompkins, the housekeeper, Mr. Dollar. I was with Mr. Martin for over 30 years. He was a wonderful man.
This furniture also looks like it might have been with Mr. Martin for over 30 years. Victorian, isn't it?
Yes, pure. Loyal... Mr. Martin, that is, was an expert on the Victorian period. Please sit down.
Thank you.
Mr. Dollar, I suppose you'll think it's indelicate of me at this time, but about Loyal's insurance, his policies, did they...
Yes, Mrs. Tompkins, they did. One of his policies leaves you a nice, sizable amount. But before you start counting it, maybe you and I had better have a little understanding.
Yes?
Well, I'm not here to represent the payoff department. I'm here to investigate the murder.
Oh, I see.
Yes, before the company pays off, they want to make sure that among the beneficiaries, they don't pay off the murderer, because they really don't have to do that.
Oh, I didn't realize...
No, neither do a lot of people. You know, that's the way quite a few good murders are wasted.
Yes, I suppose you're right. Well, if that's what you're here for, I suppose you'll want to talk to the police. Lieutenant Markwood is in the library. That's where it happened.
Oh, library, huh? Well, that might help. If I can't find any other answers, I can always try looking some up in a book. Which way do I go?
The door, just across the hall.
Thank you. And what a hall. The only thing missing was old Queen Victoria herself. Even the musty odor clinging to the green velvet seemed to have been passed down through the centuries. There was a brace of moth-eaten pheasants on the wall and a bouquet of moth-eaten flowers under glass on a marble-top side table. The library was the same, but there were three things that looked out of place. A, an old suit of armor. B, a glass case filled with new, well-polished sporting rifles and shotguns. And C, a very gruff-looking lieutenant of the police who eyed me as I came in.
And who are you?
Oh, here's my little breath saver.
Oh, yeah, Johnny Dollar. They told me you'd be here. Well, I've told everybody else I better tell you don't touch anything. They want to re-fingerprint the whole room.
Okay. What'd you find, Lieutenant?
Nothing but the cadaver with 2 bullet holes in his back. Haven't got a caliber report from ballistics yet.
Have you an estimated time of departure?
Yeah, the coroner says Martin died after dinner last night.
Uh-huh. Anything to go on?
Just the usual. Faith, hope, and suspicion. His wife, too young and too pretty for an ugly old buck like Martin, must have married him for his money. Then there's that housekeeper, Sarah Tompkins.
Yeah, I met her on the way in.
And she used to be the old man's intended, from what I can find out. Probably jealous of the young wife. Then there's the brother, Marty. He showed up a few weeks ago, broke and brooding. Probably in love with the young wife. And then there's Nick Bellotti, a private detective who hired himself out as Martin's bodyguard.
Bodyguard, huh? No doubt also in love with the young wife.
Could be.
Who's your choice?
Except for the fact that there are only 2 bullets, I think they all did it.
The nose through which Lieutenant Markwood talked was a long one, and in more ways than one, a horn of plenty, for out of it had poured enough motives and suspects to furnish a dozen murders. I started through this cast of characters and found that all of them had very little to say and didn't want to say it. The first I dug up was the bodyguard, my brother investigator, Nick Bellotti, as he returned from a horseback ride. Glad to have you on the case, Dollar. The police have tied my hands. They told me to stay out of it, but to stick around. Have you got any ideas? Everybody seems to think it was an inside job, that somebody in the household did it. I'm not so sure. The reason I was around was because old man Martin made too many dollars and too many enemies doing it. But that's only my opinion. Why don't you talk to the old boy's younger brother, Marty? I found Marty living the life of Riley. He was upstairs in his room, cuddled up to a 20-year-old bottle of brandy, which was still underage to be around the kind of book he was reading.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, Dollar. My brother and I never did get along. You'd find that out anyway.
Why'd you come back here, Marty?
Because Loyal's little bride, Joanne, sent for me. She was afraid of him, and she didn't know if he was on to her.
Was he?
About that, you'll have to talk to Joanne.
Joanne didn't get home until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I caught up with her 20 minutes later as she came dripping out of the swimming pool. The suit she was wearing would have gotten her pinched on the Riviera.
Oh, that was refreshing.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Toss me that towel, will you?
Yeah, surely. Here, Mrs. Martin.
Joyanne, I hate formality. Who are you?
Well, I'm from the insurance company, here to find out whether you killed your husband or not.
Good for you, Mr. Dollar. That's what I like. Men who get right down to the point. I was told you were here.
Oh? Nobody told me about you.
Oh, come on over and learn. I want to stretch out here in the sun. Here, you man the fly swatter.
Okay.
Come on, sit down. Here beside me. If it gets too warm, slip off your shirt.
Oh, thank you. Well, suppose we start talking business. Marty tells me you sent for him to come here because you were afraid of your husband. How come?
Well, I knew Marty before I knew Loyal. As a matter of fact, he's the one who introduced me to... What do you call a dead husband?
You call him unlucky, I guess. Anyway, for the purposes of this conversation, I'll know who you mean if you just say husband. But you didn't answer my question. I meant, were you afraid of your spouse? And if so, why?
Yes, I was afraid of him. Oh, I might as well tell you, Mr. Dollar. I want to be frank with you. The only thing Loyal didn't have to offer me was love. I seem to be a girl who needs just that. Frankly, I tried to make up the deficit. Mrs. Tompkins, the housekeeper, saw to it that my husband found out about it. From then on, it was like living with a madman. So endeth my confession.
So beginneth my suspicions. What about this housekeeper?
Until I came along, she always thought that Loyal would wind up marrying her. Oh, don't get me wrong. I realize that I'm still the best jury bait around.
If you killed him, you might make some headway with a self-defense plea.
Thanks. I'll remember that. In the meantime, just in case this thing gets messy for me, and it shows signs, I'm going to spend what's left of my free time enjoying myself.
Well, that won't sound good to a jury, but it sounds good to me. If I spend too much time around here, I might wind up having to plead self-defense myself.
Oh? From me?
No, from that bathing suit. I spent the rest of the afternoon trying to keep 2 eyes on 4 people, reading from left to right. Brother Marty stayed in his room finishing his book and his brandy. Nick Bellotti, the bodyguard with no body to guard, got back on his horse and cantered off into the sunset. The joyous widow, Joyanne, locked herself in her room, and all I could get through the keyhole was the sound of a light and lovely snore. I couldn't tell whether it was the genuine article or not. Having no way of checking, I picked up the trail of Sarah Tompkins, the housekeeper. She, at least, was apparently up to no good. I found her in the library doing just what Lieutenant Markwood had told her not to do, smearing the surfaces of Mr. Martin's desk with a dust rag. And as anybody knows, you can't fingerprint a dust rag. Hey, cut it out!
How dare you? Mr. Martin's private study.
Those are the police private fingerprints you're messing up.
I was doing nothing of the sort. I was dusting his desk. I always do it at this time of day. Get out of here. You don't belong in here.
Keep your wig on, Mrs. Tompkins.
I'll not be told what to do by outsiders. Everything was all right until outsiders started coming in. If it wasn't for outsiders, Loyal would still be alive. First that girl, then his brother and that detective. Now it's the police and you. Why did any of you have to come here? Why couldn't you leave us alone?
Now, calm down, Mrs. Tompkins. Try to calm down.
Yeah, now, what's going on in here? What? Oh, and what are you two lovebirds up to?
It's all right, Lieutenant. I'll tell you about it later.
All right, but get her out of here. I've got some looking to do privately. Take her down to her room and then come back.
You mean you got something hot?
It ain't cold.
Okay, Mrs. Tompkins, come on.
But I haven't finished in there.
Come on, you can get it later. There's just time for you to take a little rest before dinner.
But I never rest this time of day. He didn't like me to.
Mrs. Tompkins, come on, tell me. Really, why were you wiping off that desk?
Those police this morning scattered white powder all over his desk. He would have been furious with me. He hated any kind of...
The shots had come from the library, and that's where I went, but not fast enough. By the time I got there, Lieutenant Markwood was dead, and whoever had done the shooting was gone, apparently through an open window. Markwood still clutched the shotgun he'd grabbed out of the gun case, but hadn't had a chance to use. Two things had just died in that room, the lieutenant and the hot piece of evidence he'd never had the chance to pass on to me.
In just a moment, we return to the second act of Johnny Dollar. But first, the cream of the wit and the best of the music, which Arthur Godfrey brings you in the daytime on CBS, can now be heard on Godfrey's Digest, a new Saturday evening show heard on most of these same CBS stations. Listen tomorrow night and hear the week's fastest flashes of the Godfrey humor, the top songs sung by Jeanette Davis and Bill Lawrence, the finest singing of the Mariners. Arthur Godfrey's Digest and the Goldbergs are the latest addition to CBS's Great Saturday Nights. Now, with our star, Edmund O'Brien, we return to the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Hey, what happened? Oh, Markwood.
Yeah, he's dead.
Well, what are you doing, fella?
I'm looking for what there seems to be a shortage of around here, Bellotti. Clues.
You don't mind where you look, do you? Rule number 1, don't get caught frisking dead cops.
Forget about it, Bellotti, will you? Maybe I can suffer from lapse of memory for you sometime.
That's a deal. Got any idea what you're looking for?
No. But whatever it was important enough to get him killed. I'd hope maybe there'd be something in his notebook, for instance.
Any luck?
Well, very little. It's a brand new book, only one notation in it. Here it is. Check tattooing diameter. Recheck penetration. What do you make of that?
It's too scientific for me. I'm a skip case and divorce type detective myself. All I know is you'd better put that book back in his pocket and leave it there.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Nice timing, Bellotti, and remember, thanks for the loss of memory.
Forget it.
Hey, what happened? What's going
Oh,
on
good
here?
Lord. Lieutenant Markwood. Who did it?
Dealer's choice. So far, the dealer's the only one who knows.
First my brother, now Lieutenant Markwood. There'll be real trouble about this.
Johnny, shall I call the police?
Drop the innocent act, sister-in-law. I'll call them.
No, maybe I better do it, Marty.
If everybody will stop pleading not guilty by wanting to call the police, I'd like to get a word in. The police have already been called. Now, if you'll get out of here, I'd like to try earning my salary. If I had had longer ears and more soulful eyes, I would have been all bloodhound, because I could sniff out the first of the trail. The smell of cordite told me that Lieutenant Markwood's killer had either been inside the room when he fired, or just outside with the weapon pointed through the still open window. Outside, the grass formed a deep, wet rug right up to the house and smothered any immediate hopes I'd had of finding footsteps. But 10 feet away, I had better luck. A ray of light from inside spotlighted something that looked like it might be a star witness. It was a .32 caliber revolver. I scooped it up with my handkerchief and went back through the open window to look it over. Under the light, I checked 6 empty chambers and a crimson smear on the walnut grip. If somebody was feeding me a herring, it sure was red. But it wasn't blood. It was lipstick.
like to introduce myself, Dollar. I'm Sergeant Norrin McDougal.
How are you, Sergeant?
Poor Markwood. Thank the Lord he didn't have any wife and kids.
I'm glad to hear that. Cops usually do.
Well, there's one good thing about it. When a police officer goes, there's plenty of them that lives on to fight back. All the police in the world.
You can throw in the private ones, too, Sergeant.
Thanks, Dollar. And now maybe I'd better take your statement.
Well, it won't take long. I heard the shots from the hallway, and I came back. He was killed either from inside the room or just outside the window. I didn't get a look at the killer, but I found what might be the murder gun. Here it is. What's that handkerchief?
32 caliber.
Yeah, how does that match up with the gun that killed old man Martin? Do you know?
Same caliber.
Uh-huh.
I wonder what he was doing with this shotgun. It ain't loaded, and Markwood knew better than to wave an unloaded gun in the face of a full one.
Did you get anything else out of ballistics, Sergeant?
Headache. Dollar, what we got from ballistics don't add up with what we got from autopsy.
Well, how's that?
Those two slugs ended Martin's body an inch and a half apart. But, according to the shallow penetration, they were fired from a distance of 300 yards. Now, do you know anybody who could do that kind of shooting with a 32?
Well, that's pretty fancy shooting. Could it have been done with a stationary mount?
No, not a chance. The body would have started falling after the first shot. And you can't re-aim a stationary mount that fast.
Yeah, you're right. You know, I didn't have a chance to spend much time with Markwood before he got it, so I don't have much to work on. You got anything to spare?
Just a lot of routine confusion so far. You know yourself, Dollar. You take 4 witnesses, you're bound to get at least 2 different stories. Now, 2 of the people that heard the shooting when Martin got killed last night said they heard 2 shots. The other 2 ear-witnesses said they heard 1. The only thing the whole 4 agree on is that they didn't see anything.
Well, that sounds familiar. Thanks anyway, Sergeant.
Sure, anytime. Hey, Sam.
Yeah?
Take this gun into town. Tell ballistics to run it through for fingerprints and check it against those slugs in the Martin case. I want to report right away.
I hitched the ride with that gun into the ballistics department. While waiting for the test to be made, I asked some questions, and I came up with a real brain buster. Despite the fact that the penetration report said that Martin had been shot from a distance of 300 yards, his skin and clothing had been tattooed with powder, indicating the shots had been fired at close range. The tree that little puzzler put me up would have made the giant redwood forest look like a hedge. Then they gave me the ballistic report. The lands and grooves scored into the slugs by the revolver barrel proved that both Loyal Martin and Lieutenant Markwood had been killed by the 32 caliber gun I'd picked up in the yard. No prints on it. Registered owner, the young lady who looked much better in a bathing suit than she'd ever look in the electric chair. The widow, Joyanne Martin. The Hartford Horse Show. Dollar, I want to talk to you.
Oh, I'll be with you in a second. I'm just out of the shower.
Okay. First she was in the pool, now it's the shower. She's also in plenty of hot water.
Hi. Don't pay any attention to my hair.
Don't worry, I won't.
I suppose you think it's a silly time of night for me to be taking a shower, but I thought it might help me to get to sleep.
Well, I'm afraid I won't.
Why, Johnny.
You were pretty careless with that gun, weren't you?
What gun?
Oh, that handy little 32 caliber gun with the handy little registration number engraved on it that told the nasty old police that you bought it 6 weeks ago.
Well, my gun's right here in the drawer. I bought it to protect myself from my husband. And it's right. Oh, Johnny. Johnny, it's gone.
It's real gone. It's done gone and killed 2 men so far. And if you can't do some fast talking and some fast proving, it stands a good chance of shortening your pretty little life expectancy.
But somebody must have stolen it.
Oh, no. That's not even a down payment on a story.
Oh, but Johnny, there's a whole house full of people who could have done it. Not only that, they'd be glad to get me out of the way if they could.
Why?
Well, Mrs. Thompson, because she hates me. Loyal's brother, Marty, because I stand to inherit everything.
What about Nick Bellotti? Doesn't he have an axe to grind?
I don't know what it could be.
Okay, skip it. Tell me, do you remember hearing 2 shots being fired around here any time before your husband was killed? Probably away from the house?
Why do you ask that?
Because I want to know, did you?
You amaze me. Yes, I did hear 2 shots. The day before Loyal was killed. I was horseback riding down by the walnut grove. I remember because my horse shied.
Well, this is coming a bit too readily to be readily believed. But how big is that walnut grove?
Not very big.
Yeah? Can you spot those shots a little closer?
They sounded as if they came from about the middle. I didn't stay to find out. I guess I frighten easily.
Yeah. Yeah, you frighten me easily.
Why, Johnny?
Why? I'll tell you why. Because whether you shot anybody or not, you're murder, baby.
Oh, Johnny. I didn't kill them. Got to believe me, Johnny.
I don't have to. But just for a minute, I will. What is there about police drivers? Even out in the country, they gotta lay on those sirens.
Johnny, please.
Come on, you better get dressed, sweetheart. I told them I'd keep you occupied till they got here.
Why, you...
The police took Joyanne and her hurt feelings off to the pokey. I took myself and my hurt cheek off to bed. The next thing I had to do had to be done by daylight. So I took over Joyanne's painfully empty and prettily perfumed sack, set the alarm for dawn, and snort up a storm. I never knew before how much went on in the country so early in the morning. On the way to the walnut grove, the damp air washed the cobwebs out of my head, and I started thinking. Now, first, Loyal Martin had been found dead with 2 bullet holes in him. Yet 2 of the witnesses, Joyanne and the housekeeper, Mrs. Tompkins, had heard only 1 shot. Second, that powder burn tattooing on the body, denoting a close-range killing, was in violent argument with a bullet penetration report which screamed long-range killing. Those facts, added to what was in Lieutenant Markwood's notebook, plus that shotgun clutched in his dead hand, came close to tallying up the total that had cost him his life. Inside the grove, I found 4 walnut trees with hollows in their trunks. The first one gave me a handful of nuts and a fancy sassing by an irate squirrel. The second one came up with a handful of spunk water and a wet cuff. And the third, I found what I was looking for. I found about 2 pecks of clean cotton waste. That is, clean, except for some powder burns. Everything was falling into place, including a blunt instrument which hit me on the head from behind. But before I hit the ground, I saw Brother Marty Martin legging it back towards the house. I made it up the house and up the hill and onto the trail, and was just starting up the stairs when I heard another out-of-season 4th of July.
Okay, Dollar. I got him.
Yeah. So I see.
It was self-defense. I had to do it. I hated to butt in on your case, but all of a sudden everything stacked up, and I knew he was your man. When I threw it in his teeth, he made a try for his gun, so I dropped him.
You sure did, Bellotti. Well, I owe you a lot of thanks. But if you don't mind, I'll take over from here.
Sure, help yourself.
Good. And, I think the first thing you'd better do is hightail it into town, get your story filed with the police.
Yeah, I guess you're right. You're all straight now, so you can back me up.
100%, Nick, all the way. Now get going. Come on.
Okay, Dollar. See you later.
Sergeant Norrin McDougal.
Yes, sir. Sergeant McDougal.
Johnny Dollar, Sergeant.
Oh, yeah, Dollar. What's new?
Well, just another corpse. And in just about 15 minutes, the guy who made it one and conspired on the other 2 killings is going to walk right into your arms through the station house door.
What? Who is it?
Nick Bellotti, New York private license. He just shot his partner in this thing, Marty Martin.
You're crazy. What about this girl? It was her gun.
That was their fondest hope, Sergeant, to pin it on her. They borrowed her gun, fired 2 slugs from it into some cotton waste, then took the slugs and stuck them in a shotgun shell. 1 shot, just like both ladies said they heard. The shotgun Lieutenant Markwood was looking at when he died was really the Martin murder weapon.
That takes care of the powder burns and the shallow penetration, yeah. Well, thanks a lot, Dollar. I'll be waiting for him. Hey, wait a minute. What's he walking in here for under his own power?
To tell you an early morning bedtime story, just before you go off duty. He'll give you a pitch about a self-defense killing. It's a lie. The victim wasn't carrying a gun. If he had been, he would have used it on me. But he didn't. He used a sap. The sap? Expense account, items 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. $624 entertainment. Appeasing a rich widow with rich taste. Expense account, items 1 through 13 inclusive, $160 entertainment of poor insurance investigator with extravagant taste. Expense account, item 14, $7.80 mileage New York to Hartford. You may disagree with that item, claiming that I finished the case in Fairfield County, but I didn't finish the case until I left her. And New York City is where I left her. Expense account total, $823. Signed, yours, truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, stars Edmund O'Brien in the title role and is written by Paul Dudley and Gil Dowd, with music composed and conducted by Leith Stevens. Edmund O'Brien can currently be seen starring in the Harry M. Popkin United Artists production, D.O.A. Featured in our cast were Irene Tedrow, Walter Burke, Ted DeCorsia, John Daner, Gene Bates, and Ed Begley. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, is produced and directed by Jaime Del Valle. Join us again next week when Edmund O'Brien returns in another adventure of...
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Ladies and gentlemen, CBS invites you to hear Senator Brian McMahon on the Capitol cloakroom over most of these same Columbia stations tomorrow night. Senator McMahon is chairman of the Joint Congressional Committee on Atomic Energy. And when he's interviewed by CBS newsmen Eric Severide, Bill Shadell, and Griffin Bancroft, this will be the first detailed discussion of the hydrogen bomb and its implications. Remember, the first discussion by a high government official since President Truman's historic announcement earlier this week. Remember, that's CBS's Capitol Cloakroom, tomorrow night at 10:30 p.m. over most of these same CBS stations. Be sure and be listening. This is CBS, where, incidentally, Arthur Godfrey's Digest of Wit and Humor is also heard every Saturday night. The Columbia Broadcasting System.
Johnny Dollar.
Up and at him, Johnny.
Huh? Who's that?
Bert McGraw.
Oh, hi, Bert. What's on your mind?
Haley's Comet.
What?
Harry Haley, pitcher for the Spartans. They call his fastball Haley's Comet.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Great guy. Reminded me of a cross between Schoolboy Rowe and Bob Feller. Sure too bad about him and the Spartans. Breaks my heart.
Oh, why?
Haley's disappeared, and right in the middle of spring training.
Well, maybe he got tired of playing ball.
You kidding? A man that pitches like he does and is making $60,000 a year doing it?
Your company hold a policy on him?
For $50,000, double indemnity. But that's incidental. The Spartans don't stand a chance this year without Haley.
You're wrong, Bert.
Huh? What about?
That policy. $100,000's never incidental.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Providential Assurance Company, 393 Dewey Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the melancholy memory matter. Expense account item one, $1.20, taxi from my apartment to Bert McGraw's office. Bert's a large man with a voice to match. Before becoming an insurance agent, he played ball with the Bush Leagues and eventually spent a year with the Spartans. He'd never forgotten.
Come in, Johnny. Sit down, sit down. Thanks. Sure didn't take you long to get here.
No reason why it should.
But that's why I called you, boy. Always on the ball. Yes, sir, I said to myself, if anyone can get in there and pitch, it's Johnny Dollar. A man with a real batting average. And just what the job needs.
Yeah, sure. So what's the catch?
Find Haley, that's what. Find Haley, dead or alive. Only I sure hope it's alive. Dead, he wouldn't be much good to the Spartans.
Or your company, who'd have to pay out at least $50,000, huh? Or have you forgotten about that?
Oh, good gravy. No, I'm a company man first, last, and always. In fact, I'm the bird who sold Haley that policy.
When was that?
About 6 months ago. The day me and the boys at the Lions gave him a testimonial dinner.
Who's the beneficiary?
Well, the original beneficiary was Haley's sister. Her name's Mildred Womack. Lives in Omaha.
Oh, did Haley change the beneficiary?
Yeah.
Who figures to collect now?
His wife. Her name.
Wife? Papers didn't say anything about him being married.
I know.
Well, it happened recently?
Since he's been in Tucson for spring training with the rest of the team.
Oh, well, maybe he's on his honeymoon.
Not Haley.
Why not?
Because, like I said, the team's been in spring training. Last week, they started playing exhibition games. Haley wouldn't miss those for anything in the world. And according to Slats Lewis, he's the Spartan manager, Haley was going to stand up against the Redlegs last Wednesday. But nobody's seen him since Tuesday night.
Almost a week.
Yeah, sure is.
But it's still no sign he isn't taking a little vacation.
Oh, Johnny, come on. This man's an athlete, a precision machine built to pitch baseballs. Did you know he started playing when he was 8 years old?
Loves the game, huh?
Yes, sir. And he doesn't think of anything, ever, except playing it.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Hmm?
He got married, didn't he?
Oh. Oh, well, you know what I mean.
Okay, Bert. Well, what do you got to go on?
Well, maybe I got it right here.
What's that?
A telegram came in late yesterday. Here, read it.
Feel sure my brother Harry Haley has been murdered. Please conduct thorough investigation before settling any claim on his estate. Signed, Mildred Womack. Where did you say she was?
Well, she lives in Omaha, but that wire came from Tucson.
You have her address out there?
Yeah.
I'd better have a talk with her.
That's the way I'd play it. And, Johnny,
yeah?
Me and the Spartans and, of course, the company are counting on you. You get a hit, okay?
Coach, I'll do my best. Expense account item 2, 10 cents for an afternoon paper. It contained a follow-up story on Haley's disappearance with a quote from his sister Mildred. But again, there was no mention of Haley's wife. Item 3, $148 air travel to Tucson and cab fare to the Westerner Hotel. I called the Casa Grande Motel where Mildred Womack was staying, then rented a car and drove out to it. It was on the highway to Nogales, and she was waiting for me. A tall, thin woman, obviously Haley's older sister. I followed her in and sat down on a stiff chair between the bed and the dresser.
You ever see Harry play, Mr. Dollar?
No, ma'am. I'm afraid that's something I've missed.
Oh. Well, this is his picture in case you want to know what he looks like.
Oh, I've seen pictures of him in the papers and newsreels, Mrs. Womack.
Handsome man, ain't he? And famous. Too famous. All that publicity about his new contract, that's what started the trouble.
How do you mean?
If he'd never reached the big leagues, he'd be alive today.
Do you really believe he's dead?
Of course I do. Did you read my telegram?
Well, yes, ma'am. But do you have any proof of his death?
Have all I need.
Would you mind telling me what it is?
The record of my brother's doings before I came to Arizona.
Oh?
I didn't get out here until the day before he disappeared. I came because Harry wasn't writing to me like he was supposed to, so I hired me a detective to find out what he was doing with his time.
You hired a detective to follow your brother?
There's no law against it.
No.
Especially when I suspected something was wrong. Yeah, I've had to watch out for Harry since our pa died 12 years ago.
How old is your brother?
25. That's physically. But he's still a baby.
Mrs. Womack, about this proof you have.
I'll get to it. See, before Harry signed up with the Spartans, he never had nothing. And after last year, well, now they're paying him a heap of money. Naturally, a man like him, simple and all, why, he was just like a ripe melon waiting for some little chippy to come along and pick him off the vine, which is just what happened.
Then you know he's married.
Of course I know, but I wouldn't have known if it hadn't been for that detective, Mr. Oglethorpe.
You know why he kept his marriage a secret?
Sure. Same reason I've tried to keep it one.
What's that?
Well, now, would you have gone around broadcasting it if you'd woke up some morning and found yourself hitched to a person called Juanita Torres?
I don't know. Never met the lady.
She ain't no lady, Mr. Dollar. Torres, Mexican.
So?
Well, you know.
Afraid I know.
Oh, no. Well, this Juanita, she works in a nightclub. Dance, as she calls herself.
That's what Oglethorpe told you?
That's right. The way I figure it, Harry must have been good and drunk to let her talk him into marrying her.
Have you met her?
Hope not. And don't plan to, neither.
Well, don't you think that's being a little unfair, Mrs. Womack?
I don't need to. I got all the information I needed from Mr. Oglethorpe's report. Little gold digger. That's what she is. A horrible, cheap, painted dancing girl.
You're sure of that?
I am. As soon as she could, she had Harry change his life insurance, making her the beneficiary. And that was like putting a gun in her hand.
And you think she had something to do with his disappearance?
It's murder. It ain't no disappearance.
That's a very serious charge, Mrs. Womack.
But she's serious. Mister, Harry didn't run off. Leave me. He had no reason to. There just wasn't no reason for him to leave without telling anybody.
You're sure of that?
You'll find the reason. I'll change my mind.
When I finally got away from Mildred Womack, I headed cross town to the Oglethorpe Detective Agency. Mr. Oglethorpe wasn't in, so I left word for him to call me, then stop by Tucson's police headquarters. Lieutenant Snyder was in his office eating his lunch out of a paper bag.
Dollar, come in. Pull up a chair.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
You like hard-boiled eggs?
Sometimes.
Me too, sometimes, but not every day like my wife thinks I do. You want it?
No, thanks.
Me either. Sergeant tells me you hear about that Haley case.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's not much, but you're welcome to anything we have on it.
Well, what do you think's happened to him, Lieutenant?
I don't know. When I'm around that sister of his, I'm convinced he's been murdered. When I start thinking about it logically.
Yeah?
Well, if he was murdered, where's his car, for instance?
That missing, too?
It sure is. Bright new red convertible.
Well, if you've got the license, it shouldn't be too hard to find.
Man like Haley shouldn't be either. Face as well known as his, you'd think somebody'd spot him. Dollar, we got an all-points bulletin out on both sides of the border, but so far, nothing.
Just how far is the border from here, Lieutenant?
About an hour's drive.
Could be down there someplace.
Yeah, but like his sister said, why would he leave his team, his friends, his sister, all of them, without even a goodbye?
No, it's got me. What's his wife say?
Oh, didn't you know?
No, what?
She's gone, too. Disappeared the same day Haley did.
The Spartans were playing an exhibition game that afternoon, so after telling Lieutenant Snyder where I was staying and asking him to call me if anything broke, I drove out to the ballpark. You know, there's a saying in baseball, if anybody knows a pitcher, it's the man who catches for him. And the Spartan catcher was Crawfish Crawford. After the game, I sent word into him. A few minutes later, was standing in the steam-filled locker room.
I figured one of you insurance men would be showing up.
You knew about his policy, huh, Crawford?
Crawfish will do. Yeah, every man on the team knew about it. You've been after him to get something like that. Start saving his money. Hand me that towel, will you?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Now, what was it you wanted for me to tell you?
Anything you can about Haley's disappearance.
Well, there ain't nothing much to tell.
Well, did you see him at all the day he disappeared?
Sure. He was my roommate. This was our second year together. A real nice boy. Picked up his clothes, showered every day, didn't snore.
Are any of his clothes missing?
No, nothing. He even left his razor and toothbrush behind him.
What about his wife?
Why?
Oh, now don't tell me you didn't know he was married. Well?
Wasn't much he didn't tell me.
But when he'd tell me something he didn't want talked about, I always told him I wouldn't open my mouth to nobody. Don't figure on doing it now.
But it's no secret. The afternoon papers are playing his marriage up big.
Well, then I reckon it's all right.
What sort of a girl was, or is she?
I only saw her one time. Reckon she seemed nice enough, but you can never tell about a woman. Boy, I remember one time down Beaumont, Texas, there was this gal, and she looked so sweet, but what she done to me, ooh-wee.
Yeah, well, let's get back to Haley. How is he doing this year?
Well, it was off, way off. But being in love like he was, well, that can hurt any man's control.
Are you sure being in love was the only thing bothering him?
I don't know what else could have been. But if I think of something, I'll let you know.
Okay, Crawfish. I couldn't make up my mind about Crawfish. I didn't know if he'd held out on me or if he just didn't have any information that would help me find Haley. I drove back to my hotel, put the car in the parking lot, and then started across the lobby when somebody called to me.
Hey, Dollar! Johnny Dollar!
Oh, yeah? Oh, Lieutenant Snyder.
Took a chance on your being here. I received a call from the Nogales police this afternoon.
They find Haley?
No. It looks like his sister's been right all along.
How so?
Mexican Highway Patrol found his car abandoned about 30 miles below Nogales.
Well, that doesn't mean he's been killed.
No, but there's something else that does.
What?
There was dried blood on the front seat.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Our flag now numbers 50 stars. And behind each star, there stands yet another flag representing one of the 50 states. Vermont's state flag, in its early form, imitated our national flag, uniquely bearing 17 stripes and 17 stars, with only the inscribed word Vermont to distinguish it. The good people of Vermont assumed, as did our national government, that stripes as well as stars would be added as each new state entered the Union. Vermont entered the Union after Tennessee and Ohio, and with Kentucky to join shortly, the Vermonters naturally put 17 stripes on their flag. In 1818, the United States Congress put a stop to this. And since then, the stripes have always been at 13, and only stars are added for each new state. Vermont's present flag captures the famous beauty of the Green Mountain State in its coat of arms, and inscribed is the phrase, Vermont, freedom and unity. Vermont's state flag, the flag of the 14th state to enter the Union, was adopted on April 26, 1923. Now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Melancholy Memory Matter.
After Lieutenant Snyder told me about the Mexican police finding Haley's car abandoned below the border, I asked if he was going down there. He said it was out of his jurisdiction, and besides, he felt the Mexican police could do as well as he could. Snyder left, and I crossed to the desk to pick up my key and messages. There was one from the Oglethorpe Detective Agency. Upstairs, I called their number.
Oglethorpe speaking.
Oh, Mr. Oglethorpe, this is Johnny Dollar.
Oh, yes, Dollar. I'm sorry I missed you this morning.
Well, it wasn't important. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions.
About Haley?
About Mrs. Haley.
Oh? What kind of question?
Well, what kind of person is she?
How do you mean?
Do you think she married Haley for his money?
I don't think nothing. I don't get paid for thinking. Just for reporting what I see.
Well, what have you heard about her? You've been in the place where she worked, haven't you?
Why, sure, but like with everybody, some folks liked her, some didn't. Look at your Dollar. You want me to do your job for you, fine, but you got to come up with some cash.
I might, if you can answer this one.
Try me.
Where's she from? What's her hometown?
Easy. A place called Magdalena. About 50 miles below the Mex border.
Things were beginning to add up, but the total didn't look too good for Haley, or for his wife either. And as much as I hated believing it, it did look as if Haley's sister, Mildred Womack, was right when she said the Mexican girl her brother had married was responsible for his disappearance. I called down for a drink and was getting ready to take a shower when somebody pounded on the door. Yeah, come in. It's unlocked. Just put it on. Oh, crawfish.
Yeah.
Oh, come in. Sit down.
No, I can't stay long. I'm going out to eat with the rest of the gang.
Well?
Well, I've been thinking, and I figure you might be able to make something out of this.
On what?
I'm breaking my promise to Harry by telling you.
Go on.
Well, he's been going to a doctor here.
Oh?
I ain't gonna tell you no more than that.
Oh, come on now. At least give me the doctor's name.
It's Wolf with an E.
Wait a minute. Wolf with an E.
What are you doing?
Looking it up in the phone book.
Well, you can't call tonight. It's after office hours.
I'm just curious to see if there is such a doctor.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Yeah. Yeah, I trust you, Crawfish. Is it here?
Let's see. Yeah, Dr. George M. Wolf, specializing.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Thanks, Crawfish. You've given me the one thing I had to know. By the time I had the car checked over and filled with gas, it was about 8:30. The sign over the office of Casa Grande Motel served to light the whole court. Mrs. Womack's bungalow was dark, but I knocked on the door anyway.
Yes? Who is it?
Johnny Dollar. Mrs. Womack. I'm sorry if I woke you up this
You didn't. I've been sitting and thinking about Harry.
Lieutenant Snyder told me they found his car.
With blood on the seat. It's like I knew all along.
Mrs. Womack, I wouldn't give up hope if I were you.
I gave up hope when I heard he'd married that girl. And if I ever get my hands on her,
Do you remember telling me this morning that if I could find a reason for Harry wanting to get away from everyone, to disappear, you'd change your mind about his wife?
I remember.
Well, I have that reason.
What is it?
I'll tell you late tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, ma'am. Provided you'll be ready to leave here with me at 8 in the morning.
Leave for
A
where?
little town south of the border. It's called Magdalena. It's 65 miles from Tucson to Nogales. We made it in an hour. But from there on, the road became progressively worse. It was early afternoon when we reached the outskirts of Magdalena.
Oh, really, Mr. Dollar, I wish you'd tell me what we're doing down here.
I'll tell you when I'm sure, Mrs. Womack.
You mean this may be a wild goose chase?
It may be, but I don't think so.
Oh, really? Oh. But you'd think they'd have sense enough to keep their chickens at home.
You don't care much for the Mexican people, do you, Mrs. Womack?
No, I don't.
Why not? You know?
I sure do. Because they're so poor and dirty.
By our standards, I guess some of them are poor. But as for being dirty, have you ever seen American ditch diggers or farmers after a hard day's work?
Well, what about their children? They're always filthy. Like those over there.
Huh? Where?
In that field. See them?
Yeah. Yeah, I sure do.
Mr. Dollar, what are you doing?
Be right back.
Mr. Dollar?
Hey, Sonny. Sonny. Machado. Come over here a minute.
American?
Yeah, that's right. You understand English? American?
Poco.
Good. Whoever taught you how to play baseball?
We do not know too good, senor.
Yeah, I see. You have 5 bases out there.
Yesterday, for the first time, she came. She's French, was it? I am sure there's 5 bases. No?
No.
Oh, it does not matter, senor. We are grateful for what she gives to us for the, how do you say it? Home run!
The bat.
The shoes, the bat, and the guante, the glove.
Well, who is this lady? What's her name?
Torres, senor.
What?
Senorita Juanita Torres.
Do you know where she lives?
Oh, see, in the home of her father. You want me to show the way?
Yes, son. That'd be fine. The Torres family home was a large, rambling ranch house made of red brick and tile. I parked the car near the front door and we got out. I still hadn't told Mildred Womack why we were there. I only told her whose house it was. A servant escorted us into the living room, then left us alone.
Really? Really, Mr. Dollar?
Yeah? What is it now?
Don't you understand how I feel? You think I can face these tourist people after that little slip of a daughter has got away with my brother?
Your brother hasn't been done away with, Mrs. Womack.
Oh, you aren't really sure of that.
I'm not sure of anything.
Whose blood did they find on the front seat of his car?
Why not ask him?
Him?
Your brother. He's standing there in the doorway right behind you.
Harry.
Hello, Mildred.
Oh, Harry. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so very glad.
Are you?
Oh, why, of course I thought. Oh, the things I thought.
I'll bet.
Now, you hurry and get your things together, dear. We'll have Mr. Dollar drive us back to civilization.
I'm not going back, Mildred.
What?
I hoped you'd never find me.
Harry, why? Oh, I've been so worried about you.
I wanted to get away from you for good, Mildred.
What?
I'll never forget the things you said to me about Juanita.
Oh, Harry, after all...
They made me sick, you hear? You know what she did, mister? She invited me over to dinner, not me and my wife, just me.
Last Tuesday night.
Yeah. And when I got there, and I should have known what she had in the back of her mind, she tried everything she could to get me to leave Juanita, including calling me names and telling me what a dirty, sneaking detective had found out about Juanita.
It was all true.
Even if it was true, who cares what she did before we were married or what I did?
Harry, you shouldn't talk to me like this after all the things I've done for you.
Oh, now, don't give me that routine, Mildred. I'm sick of it. Ever since I was a kid.
But I did everything for you, even after you grew up.
Sure. Even tagging along every year to spring training to see that I behaved like a nice little boy.
Harry.
Well, ain't it the truth?
I had to protect you, Harry. Don't you understand? You're all I have.
You can get a husband.
And have him leave me like Joe did.
Joe left you because you were so busy making a fuss over me you never had time to even cook his meals.
Oh, Harry. Oh, Harry, please.
Your name's Dollar?
That's right. Insurance investigator. We thought perhaps you...
Met up with an accident, huh?
Yeah. What about that blood in your car?
Hit a chicken on the way down here. We were a little tight by then. Thought the blood would make it look like we'd been killed. Nobody come looking for us.
Why didn't you take your clothes?
2 reasons. When we left Tucson that night, we hadn't planned on disappearing.
What's the other one?
Mildred bought most of them for me.
Harry, don't hurt me, please. I couldn't stand it if I thought you...
You're out of here, Dollar.
No, I won't leave.
Go on back to Omaha, Mildred. Back to your roses and your cat. I never want to see you again.
Oh, Max, please. I guess we better.
Mr. Dollar, have I been wrong all this time? Selfish. Senor. What?
Yes?
Senora, I am Juanita Torres Haley.
You
I know how you must feel about me, Senora, but please, I cannot help it if I love your brother.
You really love him.
Even as you do. More. And you must not feel too bad, too angry for what he has said. See, he is not well.
He's not well.
I do not know all of it, but he has had very bad news from the doctor in Tucson.
Oh, no.
He's very upset. I am sure he will forgive you when he is better. When there is better news.
Thank you. Thank you for telling me this.
Juanita!
Come in, querido. Adios. My sister.
Well?
She's a lovely girl, isn't she?
Yeah.
Hey, do you see her, senor? She's just left.
Yeah, we saw her, thanks.
5 faces. You tell her that was them?
No, that's something you'll have to do.
Oh, sí. I will. Adios.
Dollar.
Yeah.
In Tucson last night. You said you knew the reason for Harry wanting to disappear. But you couldn't have known what he said just now.
I learned he's been going to a doctor in Tucson. A specialist. Diseases of the eye.
What?
I called the doctor before we left Tucson this morning. He told me your brother is losing his sight.
What?
He's going blind. Some people you just can't figure. Mildred Womack stayed on in Magdalena. Yeah, she rented a small adobe house and did what she could to help her less fortunate neighbors. Harry Haley never played ball again. But he retained enough of his sight to show the junior Magdalena Spartans the difference between 4 bases and 5. Expense account total, including car rental, hotel bill, incidentals, and transportation back to Hartford, $579.12. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here is our star to tell you about next week's story.
Next week, 3 of the most unforgettable characters I've ever met. And believe it or not, a case that solves itself. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood. Written by Charles B. Smith, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Lillian Bayef, Richard Beals, Barney Phillips, Frank Nelson, Harry Bartell, Dick Crenna, and Lawrence Dobkin. Musical supervision is by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.